So essentially, all of Julius's belongings is going to be some clothes to act as a disguise, because that seems to work out pretty well. It has worked out for Montre quite well up until this point. And as far as any other equipment, he just has maybe a backpack that was lying around, a short sword that looks to be crudely made into the Roman style short sword, and he's carrying about a medium-sized shield. That's about it. I don't know what sort of equipment you guys are planning on taking with you. I would assume at least a dingo.
At least for the Australians.
I think the dingo is perfectly suited to work in Australia. I'm going to be frank with you. It has no chance of working in Antarctica.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Australia is where the testing grounds for the dingo began, like the proving grounds and such.
Well, it's also called the Australian canine, the dingo, which is their version of coyotes, essentially.
Do not let an Australian hear you say that. That's all I'm saying. I apologize, people of Australia. Don't listen to this man.
That's fine. Eventually, I want to do an Australian accent later, and we'll see how that much training that's going to be.
An Australian accent, mate. Can't be that hard.
Listen, I had to look up dingoes recently to figure out what stuff was over there, and I was like, man, those are definitely French-shaped, but probably are not friendly.
French-shaped?
Yeah, you never heard of that?
I've never heard that before.
But, I mean, it's a good safe assumption. If it's alive and in Australia and not actively trying to kill you, it's so badass it doesn't have to do it actively.
Yes, that's the main thing about Australia. Assume that anything there could and will try to kill you.
Even by accident.
You know, spiders the size of dinner plates that they're like, whatever. The worst part is I was going through the recordings that AP has sent me for his Twilight 2000 campaign. Check it out on APGamingREAL, patreon.com.
It'll be released soon enough.
Yeah.
You have to,
There you go.
Okay, keep saying what you were going to say.
And I'm pretty sure there was like at least one part they were talking that Chris or one of them were talking about their Chihuahua-sized spiders in casual remark.
That sounds right.
The camel spiders are the ones that are like the size of chihuahuas. I don't know if they're in Australia though.
Oh, those are a desert thing.
Well, now the part of me that feels like it's a meme is also unsure if it's actually a meme, if it's just actual fact that they're.
No, there's giant spiders.
Yeah.
Really big spiders, like the size of dogs, small dogs.
Yeah. We're getting a bit sidetracked here. So yes, we're taking the dingo. Are we taking any other heavy equipment with you, or are you just leaving it at that for now?
I've arranged for I want to be clear that it's not like a sailing vessel like with sails. It's like an Ironsides modern courier ship, like a passenger ship to take us to Antarctica. It is called the Kobayashi Maru. It is named after the captain's father. It is a former Imperial Japanese Navy captain. That's all. I just want to make sure we know that when we go to Australia, we're going to be going in a ship built to travel seas so that we don't capsize and die. I don't know if you've ever seen the trip from Australia. Like, I think it's from Darwin to Antarctica, but it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. They might as well take a vessel that is made to go over those seas to hunt whales.
Yeah, it turns out that in 1936, Japan has a large navy all over the Pacific. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's really crazy. I think it was just referenced last episode that the former pro-democratic leader stepped down to be replaced by a pro-militarized one, which definitely couldn't be a sign for things to come. Are you guys packing the Victors for the dingo is my main question.
I don't see why not. Because we're flying it to Australia, right? We're just going to take a shit ton of hops across the Pacific.
Yeah, so you're taking a whole bunch of stops. I have it summarized as a week journey without actually doing any math to it that Kain would probably do himself.
Yeah, it's way longer than a week, but sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm...
World War II speeds? Absolutely. Even if we were flying 24/7 and landing and refueling instantly, which is extremely unlikely.
Well, the Catalina can go, I think, 400 miles per hour, I think, is what I looked up before. I might have to double check that.
I mean, you have to stop and maintain these things.
Yes. I was
you
trying
can't just fly it for a week straight.
No, yes. So, oh boy, I'd have to look at it. I'm saying at least a week is what it's going to be. I'm not... I'm not trying to
memeing. It's not worth getting into the specifics about.
No.
We get to spend quality time on the plane because it takes a while to get there.
Yes.
I will immediately get into a private meeting with Harlen.
private meeting on the plane?
Yeah.
Or you could have a
Listen.
private meeting on the plane.
I'm going to go for a real long shot here and say that the Catalina is probably loud as shit while operating.
Yeah.
Considering that both the
Yeah.
engines are next to the hull, yeah. So it'd be
Yeah.
They're really
So I feel
close.
like we don't need to be very far away from anyone else to make sure that our conversation isn't heard.
So it's essentially you're just
Conversation
like
yelling into each other's ears.
yeah. So you're like sectioning off a section, moving everybody out of it. It's like please, this is a private conversation. Move out of the
I
way.
think we've established we put like tarps up and stuff inside of the plane to give everyone a little bit of privacy. Am I crazy in thinking that we talked about that?
We put
You
curtains
definitely
up
have.
for the bunks.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a private conversation with Hara, but I didn't know I'd be interrogated on this point. Okay,
No, you're
I
fine.
always expect this
Jeez, this is what
position.
I get for trying to slap Pondo with a fish. Is all I'm saying. I guess I deserve
This
this.
is where we draw the line in realism. Our private conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
If I can't listen into your conversations, what's the point of having ability here?
I do imagine the private conversation is a lot of what? What'd you say? In between, just everything's repeated at least 2 or 3 times because it's still hard to hear.
I mean, I would have given everybody like earplugs and headphones, so it's probably stupidly easy. You just take your headphones off, and nobody else can hear what the fuck's going on, anyways.
Harlan.
Yes.
Stop juggling those ducks for a second. No, I'm kidding. I was thinking of doing an improv thing where I just say something insane to set the scene. Harlan, you don't work for me.
Sometimes I forget, but yeah.
What if you did?
I'm curious. What do you have in mind? I thought we were.
Well, you are the one person in the world that I know for a fact is sinless. And I know you have a past that you haven't talked about. And I'm just curious. You have a unique, degradable, and in-demand set of skills. I'm not asking you to go assassinate people, but having a fixer on my payroll permanently might provide me some flexibility, and I believe it might give you some assurances in this world. I've always got the idea that you're kind of one step away from running away from everything, and a steady paycheck and assurances that I'm not going to betray you might provide you some solidity. If you're not interested, that's fine. But
I'm not against assassination, and I'm not against another form of payment. So.
okay, well, I'm
Not
also
sure
not
I'll
against
go
an
for it.
assassination. I'm just not asking you to assassinate anyone at this time. Like, this job isn't to have you assassinate people. You have more skills than just that. I would point out that the things I've asked you to do have mostly been infiltration and gathering. You've chosen to assassinate people during that, which I have no control over.
Harlan will not.
And honestly, at this point, I think I've actually killed more people than you have during our escapades. It was all in one go for me, though. You know, it was a real burst damage.
Harlan will just nod at your assessment. Yeah, no, he.
I can get a place for you on the payroll. Consider this a formal request if you want to be employed. And Sean holds his hand out.
Yeah, Harlan will go and shake it. Sure, I still keep the plan to be your coworker, but wouldn't mind being your henchman too. He'll say as a joke.
I don't need a henchman, I need a coworker. And I pull in the second hand to do a double handshake. And I say, whatever your problems in your past that are catching up, that's for you to decide whether you want to pass it along to me. But I have a vested interest in making sure you stay more than one step ahead of those problems. So if you ever have anything you need to talk to me about, you let me know.
Well, actually, now you mentioned it, you actually have a bit of a problem with my past too.
I see.
Apparently, one of my old bosses thinks both you and I were involved in putting him in jail. Something that I'm pretty sure we weren't involved in, but...
And
we
who is
don't
this
really-
boss?
He's kind of washed up, kind of a boss in, let's see, America, but we probably shouldn't see him. Probably.
Sure, but who is it?
Danny something. Not remember the last name.
All right, Danny something. That's how I know that this guy's a top hitter. That's going to make a real splash in the future of the campaign, is that his name is Boss Danny something.
I didn't have a need to bring him back up until you killed Rosalind immediately. Danny Viola.
Danny Viola. Wow, okay, so probably Italian.
Yes.
Is this a mob thing? Are you with the Sicilians?
To do some work with them, but well, most of that got cut off when I joined the team here. But I've done some work again, just some freelancing, but no, nothing that I could call a real connection anymore.
Okay. Look, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to reach out and talk to him and try to clear this up. I am pretty sure I had nothing to do with getting this man arrested, but if I did, it sounds like I do owe him an apology and possibly some recompense.
Whatever you want to do, just let me know if it goes south.
Sure, there's nothing more I love than trying to find a phone to call an American mob boss from when we're somewhere in Latin America refueling. Absolutely the highlight of my day. Harlen, I'm glad to have you on the team. And don't think of me as your boss. Think of me as family. No, I'm kidding. That would be bad. Think of me as a coworker. We're still equals on this team.
Harlan's face, he definitely gives a grimace at the family note, but he nods once at the end.
Seriously, though, my actual business is all family. So, take it as a high honor that we invite an outsider in. And it's not a mafia thing. It's just, farm animals, big farm animal, and politics in Ireland. Of course, I have fingers in a lot of pockets, but all right.
Sure.
I'm going to go pray for a little bit, and then I
You
leave.
do that.
Double handshake, eh? I see how
A double handshake.
I see how it's going.
You see how it's going when I hire a mob hitman to join my team personally? Okay, yeah. Oh, I just unplugged my headset.
Man just got absolved with those sins. You're about to bring him back in.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. So you're going to try to long distance call clear?
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion roll, see if you can network to get this guy.
Okay. I smooth talk all the female operators on the telephones. I'm like, I want to place a call to America, and then I want to place a call somewhere in the American Northeast, and then the correct state, and then
it's mainly going through your
Viola.
contacts, who you remember, and then calling them up. Say, hey, can you get me in there? And then like, no, I don't know a guy, but I know this guy. Okay.
how's a 5?
Yep, 5 will work.
Wow, it is lagging so bad for me.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll live.
I wonder because I have it open twice, technically speaking.
It's probably me on my side.
Okay.
I think Steam is updating something.
Oh, yeah, I have Steam closed.
I'm
in the
using
background.
66% of my RAM. For sure, something is going on in the background.
Okay. So yeah, out the 5, it takes a little bit, but eventually you do get to the line of Mr. Danny Viola's, well, not real office, but his secretary, so to speak.
I'm Sean Dublin out of Ireland, hoping to speak with Mr. Viola. I understand that we have some business.
Mr. Dublin, okay, can you hold on one moment, please?
Yes, I am calling long distance, though.
So yeah, you're put on, I don't know if they necessarily had a hold function, but essentially...
Oh, they definitely did.
Oh, they did? Okay.
That was 90% of phone calls. Let's be really clear. In this era, phone transfers were literally unplugging wires from a console.
That's fair, yeah.
And plugging them in somewhere. The automatic electronic exchange isn't invented till after the war, I believe.
Much
Like
later.
way after the war.
Fair.
It's some real road to perdition shit.
It's eventually a man answers the phone, like, what was this?
This is Mr. Sean Dublin. I assume that I Irishly am speaking to Danny Viola.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr.
Dublin.
Viola, I understand that you've been keeping my name in your mouth. I've never heard of you before, but apparently you believe that I have something to do with you and Ruslan Omer. You should know I recently brutally murdered Ruslan Omer and buried him.
And
So, yeah, I would not ally with that man. It's super questionable to even call him a man at this point.
how would I ally with somebody that's already dead? You just claimed that you said you killed, right?
Yeah, what I heard is that you said that Ruslan and I were working against you. And I just wanted to assure you that that's not the case. I've never heard of you before, and I killed Ruslan Omer really badly.
Listen, last time
So
I
I'm just
the last thing I
I'm just
know
curious.
when I got out of Slammer, I learned that this Ruslan guy took over my turf after he had set up me to get sent to prison. Now, the last thing I know from
Right.
him is that he apparently, quote unquote, got driven out of his homeland back in England. So you're
Yeah.
telling me that you don't have any association with that red coat?
I'm the one that drove him out of his homeland. Yeah.
I see.
I'm sorry that that has cast a shadow over you. Is there something I can do to recompense you for your troubles? I assume now that Ruslan has, again, been brutally murdered, retaking your old territory should be easier than anticipated.
Very well. I would like to apologize too. Next time you're in the States, maybe in Chicago, give me another call. We'll set you up some dinner. We'll have a good talk. How about that?
I feel really bad about this. I just want to make sure that there's nothing I can do. What can I do
Listen, from my
to make this up to you?
from my understanding, I'm the one in the wrong here. All right.
I don't agree with that. I
So I obviously
have
have
real
grieved
beef
you.
with Ruslan, and for him to go after you is like the start of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign where one villain defeats another villain, and then the defeated villain ends up being the first arc villain. And when the players kill that villain, then in the second arc, they're like, oh, this is the guy that beat that guy. He must be so much stronger. That's how two-part meta arc storytelling works.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't worry, it's how things from the Underdark work, right? An Underdark boss goes up to the surface. It's the first arc for the hero characters. They defeat it, and then they have to go into the classic Forgotten Realms AD&D storytelling for like 30 years.
Gotcha. Well, all I'm saying
Don't
is
worry, AD&D is going to be a thing in like 30 years.
right. All I'm saying is that I am the one that gave the grievances here. I'm just when next time you're in the States in Chicago, just let me know. I'll treat you some night dinner so I can formally apologize for this transgression against you and your family.
You have nothing to apologize for. I apologize to you, and I am willing to offer you recompense for what I have done to your family. In casting down my enemy, his shadow has fallen over you. I insist that I make things square between us.
If you've already whacked the guy, that's all I really need in the long run.
Okay? All right, well, if I'm ever in Chicago, we should meet up.
All right.
Do you know, oh gosh, what's this guy's name? Harlen Tanner? It's a man I've ran across a couple times in my travels through Europe.
Am I know him? Why do you ask?
Was thinking of hiring him on. I'm just not really sure what's going on with him. He doesn't exactly provide a curriculum vitae, a resume as it was, into his background, and all I know is that he's some sort of American mobster. I thought you might have some sort of backstory on him, or, you know, is this a good hire? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hire somebody that's dragging a ball and chain and a bullet behind him.
Listen, we all got ball and chains and bullets behind us. It just depends on how many you've got. If you
So
want
you're
to hire
saying
him,
there are some problems with him.
there's problems with everybody. I'm sure there's problems with you too.
I'll be honest with you. I would say that I'm one of God's most favored children, and not just because I'm Irish.
Right.
Now there's a Braveheart callback.
If you want to hire a guy and you're needing someone that can do the dirty work for you, and you don't want to get your own hands dirty, he's probably the guy you can get. All right?
Okay. As long as you know him and you can vouch for his reputation. He's good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I might be picking him up shortly then. Not
Yeah.
exactly for dirty work. I just need a liaison into that sort of life.
Of course.
I think that this has been a great call, Mr. Viola. I'm very sorry about the shadow that has fallen upon you, and if you feel that you need some recompense after thinking about it, please call my personal line, which I'm about to provide you with. I'm not going to say it out loud on this podcast, but you'll have it.
What would be the phone number at this point? 245
555. Classic movie phone number.
555.
Actually, there is a scene in 24 where Jack Bauer says a non-555 phone number out loud, and they set up a voicemail box that's like, this is the voicemail box of Jack Bauer with Kiefer Sutherland on it, because thousands of people called the phone number for real.
Yeah, a lot of stuff do that. They usually have like a real actual phone number set up, so that way it's just like a pre-recorded message or whatever.
All right, well, the phone number I give him is my phone number in Ireland at my official desk, which is 555-867-5309.
And that official desk is at your family's manor?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah, Pondo, if you kill my mother, you should know that things between the two of us are going to have a problem.
Are you speaking to me personally or the mafia guy?
I'm talking to you personally. If you
Okay.
kill my other parent with another gangster.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about my mother, but because she's Irish, I'll do anything to protect her.
Right. I just want to double check.
Okay. That's it for me for a little bit here.
Okay.
I just go back and I contemplate on everything I've learned on the plane.
Just got to get ready to haraj you.
Good times.
Anybody else want to try to privately talk on the plane by yelling each other's ears loudly?
I'm busy flying the plane.
Right.
I need another hobby besides working on my own, like other versions of me.
All right.
Huh?
You know what? I'm going to have a private conversation with Montre as well. I sit down next to Montre and I say very loudly to him, but still privately, Montre, I think you need another hobby besides working on other versions of you. I'm just really concerned about you psychologically. It really worries me when you imply that you'll die for Effie and that Effie is a magical priestess and the rest of us are somehow on a lesser tier. It's okay if you believe that, I say lying because I don't think it's okay. But it freaks the rest of the team out when you do that.
I see. What
Yeah,
would you
but I mean,
suggest?
I'm just worried. It just seems like you worship Effie and that between Effie and, searching for new bodies to back yourself up in, that's pretty much your whole deal.
Well, it's not worship. It's literally, well,
It's worship.
commander,
Yeah,
and
it's worship.
soldier. It's like
Okay.
commander says jump, you say how high. It's kind of the deal.
All right, well, I'm not a soldier and I never have been. I'm just part of the press. Yeah, okay, so look, even soldiers have days off.
They do? Oh, that's right.
Yes,
You
well,
have
most
to
of them
rest.
have heartbeats and,
Yes.
emotional spectrums. I'm pretty sure you have emotions.
Yes, I get
Yeah.
angry a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's been deeply concerning to me. The idea that a man who regularly carries around a heavy machine gun gets deeply upset fairly often.
Mhm.
I think you need hobbies and like a way to work out. Do you pray or like talk to anyone? Have you considered talking to Effie rather than worshiping her?
I
Or
talk
maybe,
to
like,
Miss
talking
Effie
to-
all the time. I just
Okay, yes, that's true. She's pretty much the only one you talk to. Yes.
yeah, thinking about it, she pretty much is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was
Effie.
just thinking that, Carl has a lot of maintenance to do on this plane. And while you have had a reputation of being somewhat disastrous of a mechanic, the two of you could work on the plane together. It would give you something to talk about, or like a conversation between two real men to not talk about and occasionally grunt at each other every 20 minutes while looking the other direction. I'm Irish, so that's definitely a thing, 100%.
Yeah,
And it's also Norwegian as well.
Yeah, I have Irish on my side of the family, so yeah, that does happen in real life.
Yeah. I'm just saying from personal experience, this might be a good thing, is to just make friends with Carl.
I can do that. I can.
Okay, because he seems like he needs a friend. There's a lot going on with him right now, and yeah. Also, easing the burden of the plane maintenance would be great.
It does require a lot more maintenance than you would expect for such a quality machine. It's obviously not German.
I'm shocked that you know that Germans make good things. I'm really shocked. They don't get that reputation for like another 30 years, though.
No, he's saying he thinks it's German stuff's bad because every.
Oh, okay. Then yes, that is correct. That's actually correct.
Because he's too strong for the German equipment to work with.
But they don't get that reputation for another 5 years because it isn't relevant until mid-World War II, where they have prisoners from all of their slave nations making their equipment, and unsurprisingly, they break everything. Look at is it not Chechnya, the Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia at the time, where they had them making the dipsticks, and they made the dipsticks too short, so it would report the correct amount of oil when there was not any oil in it or something like that. Or they were too long.
I'd say it'd be too long at that point.
Yeah, too long. So it would say that it had the correct amount of oil, and then it wouldn't, and it would break down in transit constantly, which is, that's what happens when you military contract out to slave prisoners. Yeah, it's a bad idea. Hey,
Yeah,
look.
why it would work.
Well, it's easy to say that in retrospect almost 100 years later, but yeah, it's just not a good plan. Look, if you ever need to talk to anyone about anything, I'm not any sort of mystical expert. I don't have any magic powers. And certainly I don't have the sort of age that you do, but I'm here if you need a sort of faith counselor or just a friend to talk to beyond Effie, because you've admitted in this conversation you consider Effie to be a superior officer as a soldier, and there's a lot of things that you wouldn't say to a superior officer that you would say to literally anyone else, especially a friend. So, I think you should talk with Carl, and I think it's great if you helped him out, but if there's anything you need, I'm here for you, buddy. We haven't always had the best relationship, but I appreciate everything you did during the fake car ride I set up that turned into a real murder spree.
I do not believe that would be considered murder. They were attempting to kill us. We were just faster.
I mean, it's still murder if you kill them. It's just self-defense. It's justified. Thomas Aquinas once said, and after discussing what the just war theory is, I thank him for his time, and then I leave to go pray again. Again, on the troubling thoughts that I've had out of this conversation.
As you are, Montre is literally like, I don't even get the context for half of what he just said, but there was a lot there. He doesn't talk to me, so I'm going to consider this a win. He so assumes you just are so creeped out by him, you don't like him because you're creeped out by him. But you're just the boss of everybody else, it seems, most of the time. So he's just like, yeah, he needs me. I'm useful. That's what he's been assuming this whole time. He needs me and I'm useful.
As I walk away, I say, I'm still not in charge. What was it that Chris Pine's character said in the Dungeons & Dragons movie? I'm a plan guy. I make the plan.
I make the plan.
Yeah.
Why do you have backup plans? Doesn't that mean the first plan's bad? He's like, you just need to have plans.
Yeah. In truth, yes. If backup plans means the first plan is bad.
What?
I mean,
Pondo. Never be a project manager. Never. Just no. That's no.
yeah. Do we have a backup source for this item?
When I say
No.
plan, I mean
Special.
harebrained adventure type plan, not plan of.
Oh.
Well, really, I'll be honest with you. Certain project managers have bad plans. I've seen the
I mean,
plans.
it's a skill like any other.
Yes, architects. They're the worst, actually. They're.
Oh my god. I mean, taking a solid engineering building and then making it less efficient by having it look good. Pondo, I could turn the last 2 hours of this into just an anti-architecture podcast.
Yes.
We got to move on.
Yes. The main thing is architects suck. Yes, the stuff looks nice, but stuff looking nice does not equate to a functional product in the end.
I sit down across from Effie and I start a private conversation.
Oh, we're okay. We're just going down the line then.
Effie, am I interrupting you?
I guess not. We're on a plane.
No, I mean, you could be getting some private time, or you just didn't want to talk to me. Listen,
On
I
a plane.
wanted to talk to you about everything. Are you aware that Montre considers you to be his commanding officer and also like theological superior?
I know he's got some weird thing going on.
Yes. I mean, it's to be expected given he can't remember a lot of his past life, and what he can remember is soldiery, and he's clinging to whatever he has. I'm just concerned about the relationship between the two of you. I wouldn't want you to say something offhand that he might interpret as an absolute imperative. To just take care and define boundaries between the two of you.
What do you mean?
I've read a lot of Isaac Asimov novels, a guy who is alive right now but hasn't written anything yet. But yeah, I'm just worried that you might say something like, I wish this wasn't a problem for me, and he might interpret that theologically as an imperative for him to kill his way through it. Actually, Asimov is like 16 years old right now, so he might be writing something.
Dear Emma.
I didn't know he had a doctorate in biochemistry. That's sick. Look, Effie, our relationship hasn't always been the best one. I feel like you're afraid of every other member of the team for being ruthless murderers at this point, and I can't do anything to assuage that because that's true. But I don't think that we're bad people. And I haven't listened to how you wanted to deal with your particular issues with the doctor. And it's clear that that has soured our relationship. So I have concerns about how things go with you and Montre, but I'm also concerned about how things go between the two of us. And I just would like to be in the loop and on the level about what your plans are with him, because I don't know that it's healthy to secretly join his research team under an assumed name. Especially for someone who's so adamant against violence and killing, I'm just not sure what you're going to do. But given the fact that you can summon the dead, I am dreadfully worried you're going to do something worse than death to him. Also, there's a whole theological discussion about necromancy we're going to have one day. Not now, but one day we're going to sit down and talk about getting Jesus Christ in your life. Not today, maybe not this story arc, but at some point we're going to sit down and talk about that.
You have a very low opinion of me, don't you, Sean?
I have the highest opinion of anyone on the team of you, and that includes the actual Julius Caesar.
First of all, I am a Catholic woman.
How do you square away your cursed book, Summoning the Souls of the Dead, which is your go-to solution to problems?
Why do you assume the dead are evil? And I'm not disturbing
Because
them,
if they were good, they would be
talking
in
to
heaven.
them.
That's how Catholicism works. If they were
I
good, they would
thought
be in heaven.
It worked that we would be in a state of limbo until, the second coming. Then we would live in heaven after that.
Okay,
Damn.
there's a deeper theological discussion there, but yes, sure. Some interpretations of Catholicism do include that.
So, in my opinion, I'm just briefly pulling them from limbo, and then they can go back and wait again.
I think Sean grimaces and sucks oxygen in between his teeth, okay. You're still pulling people who await either eternal reward or eternal judgment away from heaven.
Limbo.
Limbo, sure. I mean, these souls are dead and they belong to God.
Mhm.
Okay.
They're going back. Makes you think I'm keeping them.
Are you... Look, from what I've seen, it's not like you sit down politely and ask each disembodied hand nicely if they'd like to come work for you briefly before going back to torment or reward. I don't know how what you do works.
I don't know.
Just seems like the kind of thing we burn people for regularly.
I don't know if the dismembered hands are like souls. Maybe it's an illusion. The only ones I know are like souls is the people that I talk to.
Wow, that really opens up so many more questions. So you're more than just a necromancer. You may also be an illusionist as well.
I don't know how it works.
That's so deeply troubling that you don't even know how your own magic works.
Like a sorcerer
not-
of some sort.
Technically, it's not my magic. It's a book.
Let me ask this. Is this a power that you want?
It's a power that I currently have.
That is not the question I asked you. What
I
if
have
we
this-
could release you from it? We are a globe-spanning intelligence service that regularly investigates weird, some would say cursed things. Releasing you from the control of this book, if it is controlling you, could
I don't
become
think it's
a thing.
controlling me.
Okay.
I think you're
So
being
you are
dramatic.
choosing to do this then. I just don't understand it, and you don't understand it either.
No,
is
I've
what
been
you've told me.
studying it so that I can come to understand it. I don't know why
Okay.
this concerns you that much. This is why I don't tell people about it.
I strongly believe that you should talk to people in console about it. Apparently, that person shouldn't be me, but I'm
No, 'cause
deeply
you
concerned
just-
about how little this team talks to each other. We all seem to be one argument away from immediate dissolution and betrayal.
You just implied that I should be burned at the stake.
Just theologically,
See, this is why I before you guys I haven't really mentioned the book because I don't.
Yes, I recall you not mentioning the book for several story arcs. Yeah. Effie, I apologize. It's difficult for me adjusting to my new position theologically. You know that I don't want to say I wasn't a believer, but I placed reason above faith for almost all of my life. And I'm now discovering that if I ask, God will come down and help me. And so that is causing me to reevaluate everything that I know. Yes, some of what I've said so far has been very harsh. I am trying to keep the group together, and I'm trying to protect you. Understand that if I have to choose between you and the disembodied hands of the book, I'm going to pick you over them easily.
Fair. Well, see, I understand your questioning.
Apprehension?
Well, no, your moral questioning, I guess. But I don't think the book is bad. I think it's like neutral.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I mean, it's a tool. Can you give up the book? If you wanted to, could you just put it down and walk away?
No.
Then it is probably not as neutral as you're portraying to me. It may not be evil, but if it can make a choice, it's not biasless. If this isn't a problem you want solved or want help solving, that's fine. We don't need to be best friends, and I'm not here to inquisit you or burn you at the stake or something like that. I feel like we need to circle back and just make sure that you understand the relationship that Montre has to you and how concerning it might be that something you say offhand could lead to something disastrous.
I don't know
And
what you mean by like something I'd say. What do you think I would say?
will no one rid me of these meddlesome priests?
Why would I say that?
It's a classic literary line that led to the death of a bunch of priests, but isn't technically asking for their murder. I meant it as an allegory.
I see.
I'm sure that you have seen a situation where someone offhandedly mentions something and it is taken either out of context or to the extreme and turns out badly for them.
All right.
I'm concerned that you might casually say something Montre might interpret as a divine order, as both a theological superior and a soldier.
Well,
And I'm just
neither,
asking you
but-
to be, you may believe that, but that is not what Montre believes of you.
No, we've had this conversation before. I think we got it squared away.
I just had a conversation with him about 10 minutes ago.
We'll have another conversation.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I also, I'm going to follow up with this, which is weird because we've just had a whole conversation about our misunderstandings. But I just want to encourage you to open up to the rest of the group. I feel like we're all walking on eggshells. There's been a lot of violence, there's been a lot of killing, and I feel like we don't all trust each other anymore. If you have a plan to deal with, I'm just going to say, your nemesis, I think it'd be okay to bring the rest of us in on it. I don't want to step on your toes anymore about this. I had a plan, and clearly it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or the way you wanted it to.
The only thing I've really wanted to do was ruin his career to the extent that he ruined my dad's.
Okay. If you need help with that, you let me know.
I will think about it.
I'm sorry at the path this conversation took. It's clear that I had some beliefs about you that need squaring away.
Good talk.
Great. Hey, if you ever need to make a confession, I think I've got the big guy dialed in, so.
Okay.
All right, I leave and I go to have a private conversation with Carl. I put on the flight headset in the co-pilot's chair, which is where I'm supposed to be anyway. And I'm like, hey, Carl, how's it going?
Well enough so far. You could probably use some more caffeine.
Caffeine in this time and place? Sorry, I actually just had caffeine for the first time in like 90 days, so I'm fucking hyped up right now.
Yeah, that'll do that.
Yeah, for sure. You would not believe the effects once you've weaned
Okay,
yourself away from its usage. Hey, I just wanted to say I've been having conversations with everyone so far and wanted to talk to you about, your place on the team and stuff like that.
I mean, I feel like aside from the sleep I do get on this trip, the rest of my time awake has been my job on this team.
Yeah, I know. That's a problem. We rely on you a lot. And I feel like we may start to see you as a tool if we don't see you as a friend.
Are you saying you're starting to see me as a tool?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Then
I'd like to
well,
say that I think I'm a pretty sociable guy.
I mean, yeah, I certainly agree with that.
I don't know how things are going to turn out with your brother. I'm really hoping that it goes for the best. But do you have any concerns about what we're doing or how everything is going?
I mean, I've got some personal stuff to work through, but I don't have any questions about the mission we're on.
Okay.
And it's, it's good to know that my brother's not really, well, he doesn't really buy into Mr. Hitler's plans. I really do think there's a way for this to all resolve well for everybody.
Peacefully. Okay, good. Because I'm on boat with that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Have you considered having relationships with the other members of the team that are more than professional? Just like hanging out or just talking to people casually as friends?
Come back.
I mean, you're always very busy. I mean, you talk about how I do a lot for this team. You organize and supply and coordinate and contact. You're always very busy too.
Yeah, and I've also just had 3 other conversations this episode.
Yeah,
for sure.
And
I just want to make sure that we're a team rather than a group of people who travel together.
I guess this is kind of. I thought things were going fairly well.
Okay.
This is the first team really that I've worked with before. Usually I did charter type stuff, so this sort of extended time with people is different. But I talk sometimes. Am I wrong?
You're correct. I just want to make sure that all the members of this team are working together on the same page, that everyone's good.
I mean, we don't really do a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
We all bring something different that we kind of rely on each other for.
Sure. I mean, I can't juggle ducks like Harlen does. We've never mentioned it out loud, but Harlen is a great duck juggler.
Well, bringing the feed for those things is a little inconvenient, but
yeah, I really appreciate you backing me up on this one. It's such a rare skill as well. You know what I mean? Like, how often are you going to see it used? And yet he just really sells it with the panache.
Where does given how good he is at the sneaking and the shooting and all that sort of stuff, when did he have the time to learn?
You really have to make the time with things like this.
Man, really committing with this, huh?
Maybe. Maybe I should have a conversation with Harlen about his work-life balance. It certainly seems to be better for him than it is for me. I'm always fixing or flying.
Sure. All right, I'm going to leave you be up here. I'm going to go back and pray again, as I've been consistently doing all flight. You do good work, and this team would fall apart without you.
I think the same could be said for you.
I mostly do things involving money. All right.
A lot of these missions wouldn't happen without your ability to make them happen, so.
It's like me and the captain can make it happen. I understand. Okay, I'm going to head on back and catch some Z's. Let me know when you need me to co-pilot the auto machine and radar or something.
Will do.
I leave.
All right. Is that the last private conversation we have, or does someone else have a private conversation they want to have?
Walk up to Julius Caesar, who has
here
officially joined our team, right?
Yes, he is there on the plane. He's kind of just sitting in a corner and reading books.
Hey, Julius.
Yes.
Go work out there. I pat him on the shoulder and I walk past and go to sleep.
Okay.
Can I have a conversation with Harlen?
Harlen will accept.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Effie, been a bit.
We're friends, right?
Sure, if you think so.
Do you not think so?
I don't know. I don't know if you're all my coworkers. I don't know if that makes us friends, but if you're happy to call us that, I'm happy to accept it.
I don't know. I don't want to. If we weren't friends before, we don't have to be friends now.
I've never heard Cotton so panicked as when you said that.
Right then.
Would you prefer being coworkers? Do you like that better? Did I cross a line?
I never said you crossed the line. Either works for me.
Okay. And I'm not some religious leader to you?
Incredible callback.
Harlen
Anyway,
is really just confused by that one.
so as co-workers, if I asked you a favor, would you consider it?
What do you have in mind?
How strongly do you feel about not murdering people?
I can take it or leave it. I have simply done so because it's usually been the best option at the times.
So if I asked you to stop murdering people, you would consider it?
I would consider it if it would pose any threat to myself.
That's fair. All right, that's all I wanted to talk to you about. It's a good
Uh,
talk.
Sure, I guess. Nice talking to you, Effie.
What'd you say?
Nice talking to you, Effie.
Oh yeah, see you later.
She didn't say alligator. It ruined.
We're not friends, I guess.
No,
I
just
guess
like the idea
not,
that she says
according
that,
to
like, I'll see you
Harlen.
later, and they just walk 15 feet away from each other. That's as far
I
as
don't
you can
even
go.
think they have 15 feet to walk. I think she just kind of closes the curtain.
Trips a little bit on the way out.
I gotta be honest, this conversation all the way down to "see you later, alligator" is the most cotton Effie has been
She
this
didn't
entire game.
She didn't say alligator though. That's the thing. I said it.
Makes it even better.
I was
He has
expecting
decided
it.
that
That's the
it is
problem.
uncanny.
Oh, okay.
AP is retconning it in.
You don't think I'm yes, a religious leader? What?
I feel like all the private conversations between everybody that Sean had is now going to create a different sort of discourse within the group.
Excellent. That's exactly what I want.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Okay. Is that all the private conversations?
I mean, unless somebody comes and visits Carl, he is just too busy to have them. So
Montre's still trying to figure out the whole last part of the conversation. What does that even mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cotton, you're muted. Cotton, you're muted. She was saying something in the other room. I can hear it, but she's muted. In Discord.
Yeah. This is Effie's big moment, big speech right now.
yeah,
I,
this is gonna be like when Sean had that whole speech about the SAF and the Nazi Party, and nobody knows about it.
It's just gone.
oh, never mind. She was talking to her mother. Okay.
That would have been funny though.
That's. I just heard talking from the other room, and I was like, oh boy. Okay. All right. Now that we've had all that discourse caused by Sean, who is now plotting his villain arc, I can see now.
Unbelievable. I had a whole series of conversations about how we should open up and be more honest with each other and come together as a team, and I am suspected of villainy?
Listen, the first
It's
act.
a double handshake. Look, you can't always suspect that is going to end.
Well, wait. Let's not gloss over what the conversations were. You hired me to be a fixer and told Effie that you would burn her at the stake.
I said that people have been burned at the stake over that. I didn't say I would burn her at the stake over it.
No, I'm pretty sure, as quoted, you said people would be burned by the stake for that.
Yes, I didn't say I would do it. I said it's a thing that happens. This is not.
Did you ever state that you disagreed with it?
Okay.
I would have to disagree with it for that to be true.
You pointed out specifically the double handshake. Okay, that's usually the first telling sign. And actually, the first telling sign wasn't even a double handshake. It was going to Harlen and say, "Hey, I need a guy like you that isn't afraid to get his hands dirty for future work."
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to assassinations in the future, but hey, I'm not saying you're going to be doing it, which means he's going to be doing it at some point. It's I'm just seeing it as the beginning sign of your own self-destruction again.
No trust. Zero trust in me, huh?
No, I don't.
All right.
You might prove me wrong. Sorry, I've been binging Pendragon still, so my trust level is low because everything.
You guys hear this shit? Anyway.
Listen, you chucked Rod without a roll off the cliff. Well, you probably did a roll in background, but still, you chucked him off.
I did it. No, I absolutely didn't. I just outright told him he was dead.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I think in a later episode you mentioned that you did like a secret roll or something. That might have been just for
I specifically said I
Jared
didn't make a roll. I said I just threw him off a cliff, and He said that he was about to do the same thing to me, and I was like, I'm glad I got there first, bud.
Yeah.
Embrace me like a true Christian.
Yes.
Oh boy,
Entering
what a
into
scene! I don't think
betrayal.
he's gotten to that yet.
No, I've seen the
Yeah.
scene on stream because I caught the tail end of it when it happened, and then the way James was like, "Hug me like a true Christian." I'm like, "Yeah, that person's gonna die real quick." That's
I did not see that coming. I'll be honest with you.
you could hear it in his tone. Well, as much of a tone of voice that James has, because usually fairly monotone at times.
I did not see it
He's
coming.
good at
I'm
hiding
gonna
it.
be honest. It was shocking to me when it happened.
But from the wording, it was definitely it's like, yes, that person's gonna die real quick. That's that's what's gonna happen here. I can't wait to get back to that scene because I want to see how it got to that point. Though I've gotten to, I think I'm on 20 something at this point. So the Chalk family is excommunicado, essentially. That's
I see.
spoilers.
That is the start of that whole arc.
Yes, it's been a wild ride so far. Okay, alrighty. So the journey is about a week, where you'll be arriving at Alice Springs, Australia, on March 15th, 1936.
Sorry, did you say Alice Springs?
Yes.
All right, so just as context for everyone here and our audience at home, 100% of Australia is located within like 5 miles of the coast. Because
Yes.
the interior of the country is an inhospitable fire tornado shithole.
Yes.
With the exception of Alice Springs, which is next to a giant lake.
Yes.
And they also make something called Alice Springs chicken, which is a chicken and mushroom dish, which, if you know my problem with mushrooms, is fucking disgusting. But, so we are essentially landing in the middle of fire, tornado, super snake shithole country, just to be really clear here.
Yes, because it's the closest town to the area where you're needing that is surmised to go for the materials hold, the tomb, essentially.
Okay. I just want to make sure everyone understands that we're in the
Listen.
middle of a desert
Yes.
that is hundreds of miles in the closest direction to real civilization.
Yes, I did a lot of research to figure out where the absolute middle of nowhere was for this tomb.
Perfect. So
Figuring
you chose
out.
the one place that has no connection to any other part of Australia.
Yes, it was found in
Amazing.
the late 1800s. Founded in late 1800s. That was the
Yeah.
other thing I had to figure out.
Well, we fueled up on the coast before flying into the middle of nowhere. So
Yes,
we have the fuel to
that's-
get out of the middle of nowhere.
That's essentially the plan. You arrive in Alice Springs in the very early morning after you filled up somewhere around the coast to get more. That way you can make your later flights over Australia to the other edge to get ready to go to Antarctica after this stop. Where was I?
We're landing in Alice Springs.
Yes, it's a relatively small town at the moment. There's really only dirt, sand, and dried up vegetation for miles, with the exception of the town. After working out the arrangements to essentially dock the plan in the duration of this expedition, working out the notes taken from the information given from the archive back in the Congo, and essentially what's in Montre's databanks from it, the rough guesstimation of the direction to go is approximately to the southwest of Alice Springs. The extremely rough estimation of the amount of time to take driving out there is going to be around 12 to 15 hours. So you could arrive either what's the word I'm looking for, in the afternoon some point, or you could arrive late at night. Actually be the late evening versus the very dead of night. And there's obviously not really going to be any established roads from here to there.
I hire local people to make sure that we're fully equipped, and I spread my British pounds around
Yes.
to make sure that we've got everything we need.
Okay.
I don't want Pondo being like, well, you didn't say that you were buying a fuck ton of water.
No, I'm gonna guess you have all the supplies necessary for this expedition out there.
We're probably going to have a multi-car convoy with a whole truck that's only
You-
purpose is to provide backup supplies for
You
all the other trucks.
will not get that. That's already been taken.
By who?
So when you gather up the information, you do find out there's been essentially a hunter's convoy or a hunting party that's already gone out that direction due to some rumors of big beasts that are roaming around the desert. Though
And who is representing this convoy of hunters?
it is a Bodie Foster.
Foster. Australian for beer in their local language.
Yes.
I see.
They're also taking the opportunity to hunt other animals out while they're out there, but that's the main reason why is to go to the to find out what the big beasts are.
What are our capabilities for other vehicles then?
So
We barely fit in the dingo. I
Uh-huh.
don't know that we're going to be able to get the sort of water and other supplies like shovel and excavation gear and like a guide.
So if you want, you can essentially get a cart to pull behind you, which pretty much would have be holding a couple of people because the dingo is already pretty cramped as it is with just the 5 of you. Having the extra man, Julius, is kind of. I mean, you could just strap Julius and/or Montre to the side of the van and it'd be fine. And kind of just be hanging there.
You like strapping people to things. It's
Yeah.
true.
Okay, I have a question.
2 middlemen strapped to the outside of a jeep, like we're
Yeah.
just cordwood.
So, with a rank in riding, with having already purchased a die for riding, will I have to make a riding roll for regular riding daily tasks, or will I only have to do make that roll for stunt riding or something?
What are you riding? That'd be
I
my-
don't know. I'm looking at options here. That's what because I know how to ride.
There are horses in Australia, Pondo.
Yeah, but are you going to rent a horse? Is that'd be the only situation I think you'd be
We
riding?
don't really rent horses. We could buy horses for sure.
Sure.
First off, don't treat us like this is a crazy plan.
No, it's
super normal to buy. Indiana Jones rides horses in basically every
Yes.
movie.
Yes, I know. It's a very common thing, especially at this point in time where
I'm asking if I would have to make a roll to ride this horse for daily overland travel or not.
What if you wanted to ride his horse down the Old Town Road? What would you say then?
what is your riding at? I should ask.
I have a D4. I bought it so I could have it.
Okay.
It's not an untrained roll.
Right. So I would say it will depend on the situation that you would have to do it. I mean, for a typical around the jot, no, you'd be fine. If things got really serious, yeah, you probably would have to.
Okay. So I could do standard daily overland travel with no problems.
Mhm.
But if I wanted to race the horse, or if somebody shot at me
Yes.
and I wanted to get away from the bullets, I'd have to make a
Yes.
riding check. Okay. I mean, looking at this trailer and figuring, and the amount of space we really don't have inside the dingo, I look at Sean and say, I know how to ride. I don't know if that helps with the logistics.
I think it will.
Caesar is like, I also know how to ride.
Incredible. Yeah, we should get some horses for sure. And you know what? We should also have horses to just carry water and backup parts. We're going to convoy a bunch of horses while the rest of us ride an incredibly hot metal vehicle.
That has probably about maybe 2 inches of foam padding.
So I almost don't want to ask this question because I fear the answer.
Well, I mean,
But
now you
did-
got to ask it.
But did Fiore come with us?
Well, now that you bring that up,
I forgot about him.
Her?
her, yeah, his girl.
Yes.
That man, you are just trying to get her killed, aren't you?
I don't want her to get killed, but the whole
Why'd
part
you
is
bring it
supposed to
up?
be inconvenient. Because I didn't want to be gotcha'd later, and I didn't plan for it.
I wasn't gonna gotcha now, but now I gotta gotcha. Okay.
It's a pre-set up gotcha.
Would
now.
you let her go with you? That's the real question.
Probably.
Oh boy, yeah, no, she's
Would
going.
you
then.
come dive with me in Australia or possibly
Oh.
Antarctica?
You know, I don't even have a
Travel the
sheep.
world.
If you ever wanted to die in the frozen north or south, it's romantic.
Okay.
Nothing like losing your limbs to the cold to add a little spice to a relationship.
I don't even have a sheet for her, and you're just okay.
I mean, you could say she wasn't interested in going, and I'm totally okay
No,
with her not
it's-
being in danger.
Flashback. Sean Dublin sits down to have a conversation with Fiore on the plane.
Well, now it's this point. It's established she's on the trip.
Hey, Fiore. We've met. I had to lie profusely to you. I'm sure by now you've noticed that we have 2 mechanical men walking around, one of which has claimed to be the excised spirit of Julius Caesar.
I'm not even gonna. She says in an Italian accent because I can't think of an Italian accent at the moment. Carl did mention about Montre being a mechanical deal, which I was seeing him first. It was weird. Thought it was some sort of motorcycle thing, and then he also mentioned the Julius part, which was also strange. But I guess at this point, I'm already in it deep. It's been interesting so far. It is nice to meet you in terms of where you're not profusely lying to my face.
I mean, I hope you can understand that we didn't want you to get in trouble for the criminal acts we had to stop while recovering ancient magical artifacts.
All right, that is understandable. I wish you didn't have to booze me up so much at the time.
Okay, I'm gonna be straightforward. You know what? Let's keep this professional. Let's keep it professional.
Uh-huh.
As the newest member of this team, I'm curious what your skill set is right here. I just would like you, with no character sheet in front of you, to establish what you bring to the table as we fly to Alice Springs, Australia. I don't need specific numbers or anything. I just would like to know a general list of your skills and personality traits as they apply going forward. I think you already have met the team, but the team hasn't met you.
I mean, I might be a bit agile. I'm definitely more of the academic type. Of course, from my understanding, there's already you and Effie for that.
How do you feel about violence and firearms?
Would prefer not, but I understand that's a possibility in this group. I was already explained to it by that.
Do you know how to use firearms and or bladed weapons?
I can use a bladed weapon. I have not shot a firearm really much at all.
Okay. Okay. What are you hoping to get out of this trip beyond, advancing your relationship with Carl?
I'd see the world, have new experiences, not being
Sure.
stuck in a fascist state.
Well, Italy is still a beautiful country.
Yes.
Will you be joining us for the Antarctica leg of our trip?
I would hope so. I would be
Okay.
interested in that.
Hey, welcome to the team. Didn't know you'd be here. Great to have you. And I give her a double handshake.
He's just taunting with it now.
Of course he is. This is a man that's been thinking that he's been going go to the evil side here soon with Sean, and then he's going to be slowly enacting it.
So
I heard something weird. I'll be right back.
there's a lot going on with everything, and we're not really sure what's going to happen next. But I am certain that you are probably one of the most protected members of this group. So don't worry if something happens. We will try to protect you. And you also don't need to worry about contributing. I would like if you did something, but we don't expect you to be able to step into this world of strange magics and gods and instantly know how to do everything. So just ease your way into it if you need time. Our first time was somewhat disastrous.
Thanks.
back.
That's very reassuring. Genuinely,
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
ensuring that I might be one of the safest here.
Sure. Yeah, and of course, some of our missions turn out that we have to lie to a tour guide about all the murders happening by saying that we're, in the middle of a big orgy. So just be aware that we have to think on our feet sometimes. So weird stuff might happen, and it's better to just go along with it.
I thought it was all undead things down there.
Oh, I don't really remember. Everyone lied to me about it, and also, if you'll recall, I wasn't there because I was lying to you.
Fair enough.
That was before I understood magic and was one of God's most blessed children, so
Right.
it's been a wild ride.
Right.
Okay, well, I was talking to Carl earlier, and he said he was probably going to pick up some horses when we landed in Alice Springs, so do you ride? I don't suppose that an Italian tour guide would be extremely skilled at riding and could be used as like a sort of quartermaster or like a convoy master.
I do not ride.
I really was hoping that we could count on that for your like one big surprise skill. All right. I'm not disappointed. I'm just drawing the game master.
I don't know what you expect from a academic previously occupied as a tour guide.
Don't worry. Montre will teach her up on how to use heavy weapons. Always use more heavy weapons.
Nope, that's concerning.
She should be an expert at riding horses.
Are we calling that now? It's just I'll give her.
I'd like to. I think that'd be awesome and very convenient.
If I'll fix that. Oh, second, ignoring that. I'm building her sheet right now as we speak. I'm putting effort into it for when I have to burn the sheet later.
We cut back to the present, which is where we're buying horses.
Yep, she is now riding a horse. She's like, oh yeah, I used to ride a bunch as a kid. How about that? There you go.
We get a piss filter over the camera while we're all riding the horses, and the
Yeah,
dingo
it's
goes along.
that first Dune movie style, warm, just orange film.
For some reason, we still hear the Arabic call to prayer to let us know that we're in a desert.
Yeah. The typical I don't know what to call it. there's always
Like the horns.
yeah.
Oh, the Arabic one is called an adhan. They call it a prayer.
There you go. Yeah. It's always got that starting part of that, like it's an opening scene. Knowing you are in desert. The theme song for the desert itself.
Okay, man, this will be interesting.
Well, I was worried. Ask.
You could have just said no, but here we are.
Could we ever?
Here we are.
Surprise.
Okay.
Evil werewolves.
No, where was I? Oh, Sean, give me a persuasion so we can get back on track because you're wanting to ask about the hunting party and what they were hunting specifically. Okay, 5. So essentially, what the rumors have over there is that there are large feathered beasts, kind of what seem to be birds, that were spotted roaming around down there. That there's been, just people scouting or surveying the lands to be recorded in later. Nothing that's been seriously proven or solid justice.
Okay,
Not justice.
I'm going to ask a crazy question. You're saying large feathered beasts that appear to be birds. These are Australians, so if they were ostriches, you would just say they're ostriches, right?
Yeah, so that's like the most likely outcome.
So it's not an ostrich, because otherwise they would just say ostrich.
Yes, but there hasn't been any good sightings of it. Just that you can tell from silhouettes that they have a lot of feathers and they are fairly large.
Okay.
So what I'll need from you guys next is going to be a survival roll to navigate towards the area.
From everyone?
Whoever is going to be leading the expedition, you'll get
good.
at least a +1 from it from gathering information about the hunting party and whatnot. I don't know who has the best survival. I don't think anybody's invested in that yet.
Would it be crazy to think that we could also have gotten a map?
That's part of that, yes.
Impossible.
Okay.
Maps don't exist here.
So does anybody have survival?
Nope.
No.
Oh my God, I thought someone had at least had a D4 in it.
Oh, why would Montre have to survive?
You know what?
I turn to Fiora
I was going to
and I
say,
say, hey, are you good at survival? Are you good at overland travel and as a tour guide in Italy?
someone give me a D3 real quick.
I say Carl. Kain should do it.
Okay.
It's his fault for bringing her along.
Hey, if it helps, then you're welcome.
She, in game terms, has a D6 in it.
She's the leader of the pack. She said suddenly.
Welcome back to your tour guiding roots.
She's now the commander.
I get out and they pull me back in.
Got him.
I'll ride up front with her and we'll lead the dingo.
Okay. So what are we taking? 3 horses or just 2?
However many he bought, we need at least the 2. I didn't know if he wanted an extra one for supplies.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's one that's going to be loaded down with water and like repair supplies for the trucks, for the dingo. I don't want to get caught out.
That's fair. All right.
Water is also super, super heavy, and we're going 15 hours away from the only known water supply in Central Australia.
+1 for the modifier. No other situational bonus. See if it adds to. Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, so this is a good thing for you guys. So yeah, you guys make it in essentially it's the early evening. There's still a fair amount of daylight, probably still maybe 2-3 hours left. I'll get my next section here. So essentially, if this roll had failed, or depending on the roll, you would either have to. Well, here's what I was really expecting to happen. I was expecting Carl to make the roll and then to critically fail it, and then everybody take a fatigue.
Wow.
What killed my brain is the fact you started off by saying deadlights, and that's really scared in my brain.
Did I say deadlights? I don't remember
You
that.
started that sentence with the word dead and light.
Oh,
and
okay. I
now
meant
it's
daylight.
deadlight.
I'm sorry. No, not deadlight. Not eclipse.
That's a context I
Yeah.
didn't want to hear today.
So, but besides that, okay. So when you get about a few miles out from the rumored location, or the last estimated location where the hunting camp is, you can see a large campsite in the distance. When you make it there, that you can see multiple vehicles, some horses and carriages, some just regular trucks or cars. There's a few tables placed throughout, tents set up, and tables placed underneath a roughly set up canopy sort of situation. Just wooden beams with set up that has like a tarp or whatever acting as like a sunblock. When you arrive, you're met with a middle-aged man with well-tanned skin and dirty blonde hair. He's wearing the professional safari clothing of long sleeve shirt and pants to protect the skin from harsh sun. On his head is a slouch hat that keeps the sun mostly off his face. He'll motion to offer up a hand before saying, "G'day, mates. The name's Bodie Foster. I'm the one heading this little expedition. What brings you all the way out here? This little slice of paradise."
Archaeology. We
Oh.
really like sand. Mr. Foster, what brings you out here?
Well, we're out here looking for something to hunt. I don't know if you heard, there's been some interesting beasties out here sighted. We're trying to get a good look ourselves.
All right, well, as a rich aristocrat, I believe that prize hunting is a very noble tradition that isn't at all unethical and evil. Carry on.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
that's-
nodding and smiling while I do it as well. I move in for a handshake as well. I say, Mr. Foster, if you'll keep us surprised, I would hate to be surprised of any... What is it you're hunting? I heard something in town about large feathered bird creatures.
Yeah, we're not really sure if it's just ostriches. It's the only reports of it is sightings in the middle of the night. So we're just hoping to see if
Like a chupacabra.
and I can tell you I never heard of such a thing. But I would get whatever the context is, I would say probably yes.
Like the Jersey Devil.
I-
Like the Loch Ness Monster.
Ah,
That's the one you know? The one that's even farther from this country than the first two.
yeah, we're England.
You know the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, but we're a British colony. What do you expect, mate?
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. I'm Irish, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Right. I take back what I said earlier. Yeah, of course we know about random English trivia. Yeah, of course.
Well, if you're going to be sticking around, you can either set up a spot, or you can set up a spot right over there and camp. Since everything's kind of cramped up now, but feel free to participate where you want. Still got quite a daylight to burn.
I hope you understand that our archaeological expeditions can be very taxing, and that we also prefer our privacy.
Okay.
You never really know what you might come across, and secrecy in your findings is important for scientific discovery.
All right.
I'm just saying I would prefer it if your men didn't randomly wander over into our camp.
All right. All right.
It's not that we're being unfriendly, it's a professionalism thing.
I see, mate. All right. Well, whatever you lot need to do, you can do it. If you want to have a bevy and some good meat.
I would take a brekkie at Brumby's with you, yes. We actually brought a keg of beer with us, and we would love to socialize with your people, but it's just at the archaeological site. It wouldn't be scientifically valid to have your people run. Who knows what could accidentally be destroyed? Ancient relics of the local people, the indigenous aboriginals.
Right. Well, you could set up your camp right around there, and you just point to just like a spot to like the northwestern side
Does
of
it
the camp.
seem like a good place to set up a camp?
Yeah, probably.
Because
So
there's
this
content
area is about as
trails.
wide open as Alice Springs was, and it's just pretty much sand and dirt. So there really is no super ideal area.
I just want to make sure he's not like sending us into a trap or something.
No, like
I have a feeling that Sean's imagining the scene from Jurassic Park. It's like the sector or third one was like predators hunt on game trails. You want to set up a camp or a buffet?
Yeah.
if you're worried about predators, you're in the safest spot. I would tell you.
I look over my shoulder where I have the handle of my shotgun, and I look down at my hip where I've got my new Crusader short sword, and I'm just like, no, I'm not worried about predators, to be honest. I'm really not.
Wait, you're wielding a short sword? When did you get a short?
I've added it now. It's
Oh,
something
okay.
I just added, Pondo. Right now, I just established I have a short sword.
Yeah. Okay.
Sean wants to believe that he's a Crusader knight, and that's canon for me now. After he says all of that, he looks down at his cross, and then he looks back up at Bodhi and says, I have a feeling that God will protect us, no matter what happens.
All right.
In fact, I'd say you're probably safer for us being here.
Right. Well, I want to get back to camp now, and I'll just let you all do your thing. Let everybody know to, keep distance. That way they're not interfering with your little archaeological dig over there.
I appreciate that.
Again, we got some food over there if you want. Some nice bevies.
We'll make sure to swap. I wish we'd brought our French chef with us, but I left him in Rome.
Also, he can get killed too.
I just said I left him in Rome.
Oh, that's right. You gave him an early
I left
retirement,
him in
essentially.
Rome.
Yeah.
Pondo, I just said I left him in
Yeah,
Rome.
no, I'm just remembering about the
So
shot.
he can get killed too. What are you gonna do to this woman?
I'm
Fiore
really worried.
should have stayed home. Jesus. Pondo is calling his shot like he's a big bambino here. Jeez Louise, calm down, boy.
All
All right, I turn and look super grimly at Fiora. That while I'm looking at, I look at her, then I look at my cross and look at her, and I make a grimace, as if I've heard a vision from God that something bad will happen to her, and yet there's nothing I can do to stop it. In this case, you're the God Sean Dublin has heard things from.
Oh, okay.
Self-Cassandraing yourself. Wow.
All right. Well, he's going to go back to the camp then, and then leave you all
I
to
go
set
back
up
to our
yours.
camp, and I start overlooking getting ourselves set up.
Yeah.
So that we can get our shit done.
So for the ones that are observers of the camp, you can see that they have, some of them are selling various weapons like rifles, shotguns, hunting rifles, shotguns, elephant guns, just typical stuff. A couple of the hunters have already bagged themselves a couple of animals, mainly the more of the pest sort, like kangaroos, dingoes, emos, stuff like that. Problem childs for area. There's a couple stations for cooking where they're making varying quality frontier style meals. A lot of beans, a lot of not super seasoned meat.
Carl's exhausted. He's gonna
Yeah.
set up whatever he's sleeping in, and he's racking out. They got off the plane and got on horses, and he needs sleep.
Montre's keeping watch.
I'm gonna go eat.
Harlan might start walking around just to try and get a sense of the different kind of people that are hanging around out here, seeing if any of them are particularly stand out as.
So I don't think. I'm not going to make you roll anything for this. So essentially, this is from the crowd that you've seen amongst like the Sean Dublin wealthy type. They're not really here. They're mainly the type that do it for the love of the hunt. And it's odd that they're all like in one big area, but they're also trying to find an unknown thing. So they're kind of also seeing who can find it first. Nothing ill-willed for the local animal population. Just, a couple things here and there. Nothing overly aggressive. They're skinning everything they kill, saving it, tanning it, using pretty much everything of the animals. Yeah. The good type of hunter as most as possible. Give me a notice roll, actually. Okay, with a 5, you essentially hear a couple of conversations about like essentially the typical, not typical talk, but I wouldn't call it spiritual. Essentially talk of make sure not to be overindulgent of the land, of the outback, the land. Essentially talking about the land being its own person as sense.
Sure, if this was set in the Middle East, it would be, a local guy who's like, you must respect. I've seen an Indiana Jones movie before. Yeah.
Respect the death.
Again, if this was in the Middle East, we would have met him by going through a rug market and then passing through a bead curtain.
Yes.
He would offer us tea.
Yeah.
Pull from Asuka.
Yeah. Okay, we're all on the same page. He's the Australian version for this. So he's playing a didgeridoo, and he's got a what's the Australian version of a rucksack? He's probably a
It's probably just a rucksack. I don't know.
There's a specific name for it. Who are the guys referred to in Waltzing Matilda? It's their version of like itinerant.
I've never watched Matilda, so I couldn't tell you.
Waltzing Matilda's a song. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
A bushman,
Gotcha.
a swag man, and they have a specific type of bag. Don't worry about it. It's
Okay.
The Australians who watch this song will know what I'm talking about.
I unless I randomly pick up Chris or James watching this, I don't know if I have any.
Don't worry.
Australians
This person is a swaggy for sure.
Okay.
If you haven't watched or listened to Waltzing Matilda, it is actually a super sick song.
Fair enough.
His Tucker bag. It's called a Tucker bag. It's super specific. Don't worry about it.
Anybody else doing anything?
Just basically keeping watch, seeing what else for me to do.
Sean is exhausting himself setting the camp up logistically.
Does Sean have the biggest tent there?
Yes, but I think the bigger thing is that his tent is private. Like everybody else who's given people double tents, like Montre and Julius Caesar, Effie and Fiore, that sort of thing. But he's given himself a private tent, and it's also bigger.
That's good because I've already surmised that.
Okay.
Though there's a little bit more people than I expected there to be. I'd actually need to make a token for Fiore too.
beans and bacon over the fire.
Well then, Harlan, I guess we're tent mates.
Pretty sure it's just Montre and Julius be chilling on the dingo essentially.
Yeah, that's what I was
As
expecting. Just kind of just sit there staring out into the darkness, hoping
Yeah.
something doesn't come out, but ready if it does.
they don't really need a whole lot of sleep. It's more of like power naps to cool off the soul a bit. Because they can't like stay awake 24/7, but they can essentially
down
power
rest.
nap themselves a bit. And they can't do that consistently. Man, I'm fumbling putting this token on Fiore here real quick. This was not an outcome I thought happening, but I guess it's happening.
And that's where he got you.
All right. Now, eventually, after a while, you will have to sack up for the night other than just being too tired. Some of you are already sleeping. Some of you maybe decided to party with the Australians, if that's your thing. I don't know. At some point in the middle of the night, a sudden sandstorm starts blowing through the camp, lasting only a few seconds. Any attempt to try to see through it is thwarted for the human eye, though for Montre and Julius is not an issue except for the sheer density of it. After the storm passes, silence fills the air, once again with nothing but the crackling of the fire set near the camp. Only a few moments later, suddenly screams of terror start shouting out from the other camp nearby, followed by loud gunshots. At first, it's hard to see what's causing the stir of the dark of the night, nothing but peaks of what could possibly be swift creatures that are raked by the flickering light of the campfire. Eventually, out of the adrenaline-filled chaos of the eyes, the eyes adjust to the dark to reveal dark feathery silhouettes at night. At this point, I'm going to start dealing out cards, and I'll add Fiore to the initiative, essentially. So is everybody able to see the camp?
I am.
The camp light is giving us like high and low visibility, but I can see.
Yeah, well, I mean, can you see past where the light ends? I was trying to set it to where it would be that way, because you can see in the dark. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's the low light.
So essentially everything out of that light, it'll be at a -2 for low light. When they get to the edge of that campfire light, you can see them properly. If there are things that you have possessed that you can create lights elsewhere, you can do that. So that'll probably be an action in its of itself.
All right. As I come out of the tent, I say, this is literally unbelievable. Australia is one of 2 continents in the world that has almost no dinosaur bones, and they all happen exclusively in Eastern Australia.
Are you a paleontologist now, too?
I've seen the History Channel in Australia when I was visiting. The History Channel is a radio broadcast that plays in Darwin, Australia, which Sean has canonically been to before.
So I was going to wait
I'm
for
not
the
wrong.
I was going to wait for the description for these beasts, but they are.
It says dinos.
Yes,
Mark.
but that's because I'm a child. Okay, I was going to describe them as once they get into the light that they are
Okay. Go ahead.
very reptilian in nature, though the size of a motorcycle essentially, or a horse. At least the ones that you can see in the far distance. There is a larger silhouette, the size of essentially a large truck. All right, now I'm going to deal initiative so we can get this started. Oh, Fiore goes first.
Oh dear.
Well,
There's no jokers. There's a jack.
I hadn't even got to the equipment yet for her. I would say she will attempt to shoot something in the chaos. I will say she tries to shoot the thing to the north. See if she even hits it.
Canonically, she's someone who has never fired a gun before.
I gave her a D4. She actually hits it. Damn it.
Nice.
Well, now I got to fumble giving her a weapon real quick.
You can just give her my gun. That helps.
I will indeed, because I know what you have, because I put it in there.
The gun that I never use, but I have had.
Yes. I think you've shot it once.
Oh, I think yeah, when we were in the crypt where we found Fury, actually.
Yes.
So I ran out of magic while someone ran through a field of enemies.
It was Harlen. We all know it was Harlen. Does not do any damage though. Surprisingly, so Fiore has like a lot of the bad signs of someone that doesn't know what they're doing with a gun and starts firing off into the distance at one of the silhouettes to the north. It seems to be hitting it, but the bullets just ultimately are just plinking off. Next up is dinosaurs. Okay. These are essentially what look to be dinosaurs. So essentially the ones that are next to the camp here, they're going to be moving in and just slaughtering them for the most part. Does anybody want to roll a D8 for me?
Sure. With my famously lucky rolling.
Okay.
Wow, man.
I didn't even do
Wow.
it that time. You jinxed yourself. I just want you to know that.
Wow.
That's
You said it as it happened. You didn't
I
even
said
give
it
me a chance
at-
to do it.
I said it after I hit enter too.
Yeah, that's-
You manifested that so damn hard.
I was thinking it. I'm not going to lie to you. I was, but
I shouldn't do any of these rolls, guys.
If we were sitting at the table together, I would probably have to reach over and cuff you in the back of the head for that one. Don't manifest it. Just let it happen first.
okay. So these
Beautiful.
things are going to start moving in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually going to stop there. That one's going to stop there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one's going to stop there. I mean, because that was the first one's in sight, and that's what I'm going to decide with. Okay. So first dino is going to attempt to... Oh, who's he going to go after? I'm going to say Carl to give him slight hope before she gets inevitably slashed.
I appreciate this.
He's going to attempt to claw at Carl.
Carl's parry is 7.
All right. That is a 6. You said you have a 7? My goodness, you live. The next up is same thing against Montre, a claw. Yeah, I'm going to spin a penny to reroll that because I can.
Wait, no. Mine would be an 8 because it doesn't have a gun.
Oh, it's I think it made that.
It still made it, though. It got through my 8.
This is the only time before he gets annihilated by a machine gun, we'll be able to hit Montre.
Well, it's too close for the machine gun.
Yeah.
To hit it.
9 damage to you. Does that... What's your toughness?
Toughness is 8.
Okay, so you're shaken. Okay, that is all the dino's turn. As the others are slaughtering through, relatively uncontested at the moment.
It's the second time I've been shaken.
Luckily, you can get out of that easily.
I get shaken all the time, man.
Yep. Then it's Harlan's up next.
That's mostly
Oh,
because you
that's-
guys run ahead and get attacked first, and then I have to clean up.
Well, since it's no one's in the way of it, I'm going to take a shot at the Montre's dino.
That you have a clear shot of that. That's recommended.
Yeah, just make a standard shot, and it's in the light.
It is in the light, so you have
Yeah.
no negative to it. That'll hit with an 8. That'll hit with a raise.
All right.
You do 13, which is, I think, enough to injure, but not kill. It has 9. What's your pistol AP? It's just 1,
1.
right? That is enough to kill it, thanks to your superior weaponry.
So ends the age of the dinosaurs.
That's okay. Got another one there.
I mean, you firing your pistol at things is the equivalent of an earth-shaping meteor coming around and hitting the planet.
It's all right.
So-
I got multiple more. Okay. I foresaw this outcome. Anything else, Harlan?
Plan for your bullshittery.
Anything else, Harlan?
No, that should be it.
Okay, you're just going to stand there?
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose you're in a
reason to run
relatively
into the
safe
dark.
spot. Yeah. Julius, so Julius is like kind of fumbling to jump off the Jeep for a moment, trying to pick up his somewhat overly sized shield and his pull-out sword. He begins to start shouting out, Montre, make sure to cover the squishy ones. Oh, well, never mind. You're kind of preoccupied at the moment. I'll go out the other one. And he will attempt to 1, 2, step aside here, 3 and 4, make it up to the other dino, and he will attempt to
Have at thee.
have at thee, essentially. I don't know to what effect, but it'll be some effect. He will swing his short sword. Oh boy.
Oh!
None of this matters up at that point, but that's fine. All right, scores an 18. Interesting. That would definitely raise. Okay. He
You
came to
absolutely
play.
want something dead, bring Julius Caesar with you.
Unfortunately, though, I think
With no AP.
that
no
only
AP.
shakes it. No, that does kill it, actually. Just. So yeah, essentially, he just jumps off, foams a little bit, starts running over, and does like a super jump over the fire. You know, that cool that they get like 3 different shots of like action style movies over the fire for no apparent reason. There's plenty of space
Just-
for it, and just
It
Does
doesn't hurt him.
He
Yeah.
does the Achilles jump.
Yeah. it pretty much stabs this thing in the neck, taking it down immediately. This is going not the way I expected it to go. Okay, Effie.
Sorry, I was editing my sheet and none of it saved, so I was fixing it.
Oh,
If you do any edits, make sure you picked it from the sidebar and not your character token, because those aren't linked properly for some reason. I had that problem last session.
Oh no, I have a quick question. Are we actually using conviction in this system?
yeah, it just doesn't really come up a whole lot.
Okay.
I know there's definitely adventure cards that give conviction, meaning it gives you I think it's a D6 to.
The ones nearest
traits.
are dead, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
ones
me
near
too.
you are dead.
I mean, the hunting camp is still being assailed.
I see that.
Yeah, there's.
Can I see a large blast template and a medium blast template?
Absolutely. So here's a large, and here's a medium. If you're trying to get as many as possible,
No, I gotta check distance too, because
it would
there
be
is ranges.
It would be your
which is
smarts.
Yeah. So it's 8 squares, right?
It would be 8, yes.
And we can go in a diagonal.
Yes. If it doesn't let you, I'm not sure how I can fix that. But
Okay,
yes.
can you put the template here?
There.
What about a large one?
That is a large
I guess I have to move.
one. Yes, just go put yourself out in the open.
I can't pick up my token.
Oh, that's weird. Where are you wanting to move it to? That one there? Okay. Oh, that's probably why you couldn't pick up your token, was because of the roller.
Well, I put the ruler back,
No, okay.
and I clicked on the token controls. Anyway, I guess here now? Just the medium one?
Yeah, should be able to get both those if you want with the medium.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna try a new spell,
Okay, this should work swimmingly.
and Effie is going to sing a lullaby in that weird language and try and put them to sleep.
All right.
Just gotta see how this works.
I have to be honest. I immediately thought of the Jigglypuff song from the Pokemon anime.
Sure.
That's
Same.
Works for me.
Effie Puff.
So I just need to roll my spirit roll, I think.
uh,
To see, to see if
yeah, you
I
need to
can
roll
cast it,
your
right?
You need to roll your focus.
my focus.
Yeah.
And then if I succeed, they have to roll a spirit, and if they fail, they just fall asleep.
Yep. You do succeed, and okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Oh, I'm gonna click on my roll here so that I can spend my power points.
I will definitely say, it would at least buy you a turn, because as soon as
No.
well, it says here, and I'm reading the spell: very loud noises or attempts to fitfully wake a sleeper by shaking, for example, grant another spirit
Gives
roll.
them another spirit roll.
Okay,
So technically,
alrighty.
they might stay asleep.
Alrighty, you got me.
It's at least a help.
This is for the tiny dino. He succeeds.
Make them keep rolling because it's more likely they'll fail than they will
Yeah.
succeed instantly without having.
And for the big dino,
That's how my players get me.
he will use his Benny to re-roll that.
Well, at least I got a Benny out of it.
There you go. Yep, he succeeds as well. Okay.
Oh, that's a bummer.
You did take a Benny away from me.
Yeah, but that cost 4 power points.
Oh, I do think that is going to be a very big pain for me later. I do know it. I sense it. You're going to do it. You're going to pull it out on me the most inopportune time for me.
Well, we'll try.
Sleep spells, man.
What
Sleep.
else would we put out?
Carl, you nearly got swiped at by a dino, but Julius did an action hero jump over the campfire and stabbed in the neck.
Which I appreciate, but I also see this and Effie. So,
Problems for later?
I've already mapped it out. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. Based on what I see, I'm going to
Dan, don't fire.
5, 6, and I'm going to try to shoot this one.
Okay.
Maybe going to another part of the world will make this work.
It's drier here. Less moisture.
If you could roll a critical fail, I'm blowing up your shotgun.
I have a card to do that, but I actually like Carl.
Let's see. So short range.
I think you've done at least 3 critical fails with this shotgun with shells before.
Mm-hmm.
At
Yeah.
least 2, probably 3.
I mean, I do maintenance on it. And I am going to multi-action to fire twice.
Okay.
I think this is.
Yeah, you got
let's
the
see if this
damage.
works
Okay, that'll hit.
with a raise.
Yeah, with a raise. It is technically in the campfire light still. That was relatively roll low. Oh, no, I guess it was higher than I thought it was. It just looked a lot lower than it was.
It's a bunch of dice. Gave me 16. It wasn't great, but hopefully it's enough.
Yeah, that is enough to take it out.
Okay, I gotta look at the.
Hmm.
Trying to find the actual. No, not that. I want the actual stats for this thing. I can't just click on it to look at. There we go. 12 is short range.
Yeah, you should be good to shoot at anything else short.
Okay, I want to try to hit this one too. Ooh, wait, no. That one is also in short range, and I don't have to shoot directly through a tent that might be occupied.
Yeah, there's also a good chance they're already dead, so.
Yeah, but I don't want to be the reason. I'm going to try to hit this one since it's still standing.
Okay.
Let's see.
I
Short
will.
range.
No, I've already committed. If you critical roll with the shell, you're going to blow up the shotgun. I've already.
Yeah.
I will say
Boy, this could already go really badly for me.
No, you're good. Yeah, hit with a raise.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Jimmy Christmas.
Oh wow.
Okay, well,
Hey
37 damage.
boys,
Yeah.
buckshot's back on the menu.
Yeah, that's
What the hell, man?
so.
I just had a Harlen shot.
I think we get like one of those
Very,
shots
very
where,
nice.
like, you quickly action slide in front of Effie with the shotgun, quickly taking down the one dino about to approach her, before you just swiftly swing over, and we get that second shot at the other one, and we get the wanted style bullet camera with like all the pellets that landed the other one, taking it out immediately. Okay, that'll be the end of your turn. Hey, my big guy can go now. All right,
Yes,
on to
please come
the.
closer. It's
big
easier
guy.
for me to shoot you.
I don't know if you want closer. It's going
Easier for me to shoot you.
1,
Or do silly stuff.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now he's too close to Effie. This is a problem.
I was the one who made all the loud noises.
Yeah, I think he is going after you.
In material. This is
For better or for worse for you.
going through combat action.
Probably worse.
He is going to attempt to take a big chomp out of your small little body.
Everything?
Okay. Yay, bayonet. I still have my parry of 7.
We. Oh, there it is. There's the button. That's the button I needed. Oh, boy, I got to look up size difference roll. Because he is.
So I was just at it just a second ago. Hold on. Scale modifiers. He is.
He is
small.
size
It's
7.
-2.
Is
So
it
it's
minus 2 for
-2.
me?
Yeah, for a scale modifier for small.
Okay, so you got going for you. So -2 to this roll. I will spin his other Benny to re-roll that. I want this to hit you really bad. I'll try one more time. Jiminy Christmas.
It said no. Bad dino.
This will actually bring me down to 2 bennies. I'm going to do it one more time.
Ha.
Okay, well,
that size penalty is huge.
yeah.
Wait. Tiny fairy, for example, would be 10.
It'd be 7 versus size 0, which is normal height. I'll look it up later, but it's probably still the same result. That considering I didn't roll nearly high enough for anything. Oh, okay. Well, that's
It says the smaller creature adds a difference between its scale and the target. So he's bigger, so he doesn't get the bonuses or the negatives, apparently.
oh, okay. It doesn't matter. I don't think I rolled at all high enough for anything. I think the highest I rolled was a 5.
If he's not supposed to have penalties and he rolled a pair of 5s,
But your parry is
a 7.
yeah.
No, he'd still be 2 because he's over because he's what, huge?
Large.
He's large. So it would be -2 to go to normal, and then we're small. Everyone but me is considered small, so that's another -2. So yeah, he would.
Oh, he actually has +1 reach. It actually could have been a space away from you. That's interesting.
Do you want to move?
No, there's not really a reason to.
Hmm.
But
You can
that's
sit.
fine.
It's fine.
I have to see if he makes it through this round anyway, because I imagine Montre is going to unshake himself, make himself murderistic. Because it is Montre's turn now.
Popped up.
Do you want to spin a Benny to unshake yourself automatically and be able to act?
It says he passed a spirit roll removing shaken.
Yeah, but he didn't raise, which means he won't be able to act normally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll spend the Benny. Mechanically, it still removed it. Weird. So a smaller creature that adds the difference between its scale and the target and attacks. You said it's huge or
so
large?
it's large. You would get a +2 to any attack against it.
Okay. So Montre is not wanting to shoot so close to the two people he's supposed to be friends listing on his Discord, so to speak. So he was told to befriend them.
These are this is the big impact this conversation's had.
Yep.
We'll make really good friends with the Montre.
He's going to melee this thing. Not even going to use his sword.
So you're going to be
Yes.
dropping the MG and then switching to the sword?
Yep.
Okay.
It's stupid, but he's going to do it.
What level of pain are you giving yourself?
I don't think he's going to use the sword for this. I think he's literally just, I'm going to hit it, and then if I successfully hit it, I'm going to try to push it back on my next attempt.
I'm gonna try and punch the giant dino.
It's going to be relatively easy to hit it, he thinks, but it's also far too close to Effie and Carl.
Yeah. You were still says you're shaken. I think. No, okay. No, you just have it favorited on your thing. I see what's happening there.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I was looking at your sheet because I was looking at the pain levels that you can go through with your sword to do more damage. I put those in for you guys in case you wanted to do that.
So yeah, I think he's going to do just a regular attack.
Okay.
Which, let me remember how to do that. I don't think I have melee as an actual item in my gear.
I put the sword on for you if you're using that.
Yeah, we just use that because it's strength plus d6. I'm trying to do I'm trying to do non-lethal if I can, so we can capture this thing. It's his ultimate intent.
That's an interesting choice.
Do you want to interrogate the large dinosaur?
Yeah, you said someone told me I need a new hobby, and there's a new possible pet here. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That is true. That is, I mean, and it's the biggest one here, so it'd probably be the most interesting.
Let's see, personal weapon, unarmed. There it is. I knew there was unarmed somewhere in here.
You're gonna try to punch it?
Yep.
Okay. You don't have anything that gives you any unarmed damage, do you? I don't think you do.
Not damage, but I do get an extra die for melee.
For the fighting roll, yeah. For
Yeah,
frenzy. We'll
So-
see how your punch a literal giant monster goes, or giant lizard.
I'm gonna biddy that.
I would say is I don't think that hits. Actually, it was close. No.
I didn't add my size modifier. To
Yep, that will hit.
So that will hit.
All right, roll your. I think it's just your strength, which is your strength die essentially.
I do believe that's what that. Yeah, it's set for strength. Not as good
no.
as I'd hoped.
You try punching this thing, and unsurprisingly, it's pretty dense. You just feel like you just punched a brick wall, essentially.
But I hopefully got its attention.
You did indeed. I think. Honestly, it's going to be doing random rolls at this point to see who he chomps through. I think last one up, I think it's just Sean who got the dealt last.
Hey guys, Sean Dublin here.
Yep.
I'm prepared to make things real fucked up real quick. Pondo, my understanding is that conviction adds a d6 to all trait rolls going forward. That d6 roll can explode, and it never goes away once you have conviction. So I'm actually going to
I think it's
make
for
this
the rest
combat
of the scene.
really weird. Sorry, what was that?
Okay, I gotta look up the convention again.
It says it lasts beyond the session.
But yeah, once you use it, it's used. So what are you planning on doing with your convention? I'll look that up later.
I'm going to play the betrayed card. I wasn't intending on ever playing this when our only ally was Julius Caesar, but now that Fiora's here,
Oh.
well, hold on, and also Foster. There's so many more targets. It might not be Julius Caesar who betrays us. And I'll take my conviction point. Thank you very much. And my turn will be jumping into the dingo and starting it up and turning the lights on. Because who knows how crazy this combat could be, and it would not be the first time we needed to run and flee. You know what I mean? This could just be the first wave. So I want to make sure that we're ready to get out of here. I'm Legend of Coring this for sure, just to make a really dated reference.
Convention, give me, and you got the convention, and you're spending it, or you're holding it?
I'm holding on to it for now.
Okay. Trusted friend turns against you, allying with your foes and spilling your secrets. You get a point of convention or refresh your starting bennies. That is interesting. Okay.
I feel like Sean Dublin, God's most favorite son, getting a point of conviction is not that out of pocket.
No, that's fine.
From his point of view, at the very least.
I think at this
He
moment,
certainly is filled with conviction.
I think at this moment you're thinking if things start going really south, that you get as many people out as possible.
That sounds like me.
That does sound like you. Okay.
Who betrays us, Pondo?
Does it say it happens?
Who allies? It doesn't say that. I want to know who allies with the dinosaurs and betrays us, Pondo. I want to know who allies with the dinosaurs and betrays us.
Well, it doesn't say I have
Pondo.
to enact the betrayal right now. It's just somebody.
Pondo?
Huh?
I want to know who allies with the dinosaurs against us humans.
It was Montre. Dun dun dun.
Listen, that would be a very shocking reveal that Montre feels closer to the dinosaurs than he does with Effie. My people!
I'm going to keep that in my pocket for later. It's not going to happen right now. There's more.
Damn it, Pondo,
serious
that
shit.
removes half the fun out of the card. Fine, whatever. I'll keep my point of conviction, but
So this
I
situation.
was really hoping someone would betray us and join the dinosaurs.
Effie betrays you, dinosaurs.
Every
Wow.
single time.
Well, I mean that does also bring in Montre. So
And she
that's-
takes Montre with her. Yeah.
All right, it's machine gun
It's a
fight now.
historic discovery.
the machine gun is fixed to point forward, so you'd have to.
No, I meant Montre and the machine gun. It's just two machine guns fighting each other.
Yeah.
Julius, save us!
I'm working on it. That's a much
We
bigger
need a
one.
counter machine gunner.
That is a problem.
It should be noted that I slide across the hood of the dingo and I look
Of course.
incredible
Oh,
while
that
I do
already
it.
did the thing. What
Whoa,
happened?
what just happened?
I did the next round.
Oh, somebody got a Joker?
Yeah,
Yep,
Sean did
Sean
actually.
did.
Sean got a Joker.
Hi, how's it going?
Why is
Sean Dublin here.
Nice, you get to go whenever you feel like it.
Julius, why did you give me the? Oh, it's Oh yeah, I gave him quick. Yep, that's better. Okay. So essentially, what that means is that you can act at any point you want, or interrupt whenever you want, and you'll get a +2 to all your rolls for the round. That being trait, damage, etc., etc.
Where is Fiora here?
She is
Not on this
true
He's
north.
with Julie.
I feel like driving over there and picking them up in the car is probably not the worst idea. In a real come with me if you want to live, extricate them from danger sort of situation. We're responsible for their lives and they aren't player characters, so that's what I'm going to do. You know, I gun the engine, spraying sand everywhere, and I fishtail like a lunatic, and I do a wide drift around the dinosaur as I blast past. Who is this right here? With the hat?
Harlen.
Yeah, I snake
man
around
Harlen.
Harlen, and then I do a long stop, you know, because the brakes on sand, as I slow down just enough to be at a crawl as I drive past Julius and Fiora, and I'm like, get in! Come with me if you want to live, but I say it Irishly.
Yeah, make a driving roll.
Make a driving roll.
Yeah.
What is this nonsense?
Gonna wreck into the only scrub brush tree in the desert.
Let's, this is, there's multiple situations that can happen here. Okay.
So
Uh,
close.
I would say if he critically failed it, there have been some accidentals going on.
Sure, but I got a 4, so...
You got a
shit.
2, which goes up to the 4 thanks to your Joker. So
Yeah, because I have a Joker card, which means
Alright,
that
so
I'm
we'll
God's most favorite
say-
child. Yeah, I understand, Pondo.
you'll say we'll make it like
Boy,
boy. I got it.
I've turned around and I'm facing the other direction.
Which
Pick up
direction?
Julius. I'm facing east. I
Alright.
did a wide drift around that dinosaur and then I snaked past Harlen to go pick up Julius and the girl.
I say you make it to like right about there, safely, without injuring or
Okay.
potentially endangering people with your frantic moves.
Hey, all I have to do is roll a 2 on a D4 to get that far. Good enough for me.
I was looking for a critical failure, which almost happened.
If that had happened, I would have spent the point of conviction to add a D6.
I don't know if that would have prevented your critical failure.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you either. But
Very
That-
well.
all right. So
That roll was much riskier than I thought then.
yes. Harlan.
Alrighty,
Oh, I can use my sword to do.
I guess
nothing,
I'll
though.
first
I
take
just do
a
minus
shot
1
at
attacks.
Big Boy and then let me jump in the car, I guess. I guess that's what we're doing now.
You know, you're the one that can make that shot. That's definitely a Harlan thing to do.
Does it count as in the dark?
No, I'd say there's
I would
definitely
say
enough.
I briefly lit it up while I drifted around it with the car, right? I
There's
specifically
definitely
said
enough.
And I turned the headlamps on.
There's definitely enough campfire light to see what's happening with it, so you're
Alright,
fine.
And what's the size bonus?
+2, so you get a +4 to this. There's no way you're not going to be able to raise this unless you critically fail, which you don't. Okay, go ahead and roll with a raise. Man, that is definitely not enough to do. Now I gotta double check. No, it.
You know what? I've got all these bennies. I'm going to use.
I think you
I'm going
rolled almost the exact same thing.
Oh,
You wanna keep going? You wanna keep gambling?
Yes.
You're getting slightly better. Not enough still.
Just keep going. Keep going. You got this.
Okay, no. I need to save one.
Someone's throwing very, very different sides of rocks every few seconds. What was that?
Yeah, definitely bullets are just getting plinked off of it, essentially. Nothing really hitting too hard against it. And you're jumping in?
Jumping in the car.
Okay.
I turn around briefly over my shoulder and I nod to Harlen. Not who I expected to see, but glad to have him on the team.
I kind of want to put that more in the foreground, but I think I did the wrong thing. I should have did the tile of it, not the actual model or figure of it, so to speak. But that's fine. Montre, you have Big Dino that you're trying to capture.
Yes, and I have just read the rules, and I can take a -1 and still use an edge weapon. So let's burn some soul. I'm gonna do the middle ground.
The level 2, so I think man, I gotta remember what I did for that. That's been a while.
It's says self-damage on it. That's what you put on the sheet.
Oh yeah, self-damage for
+2 damage.
because
before I
there's two
roll?
varying ways. Let me go back to look at it. I don't even know if I got that to work properly. I'll be honest with you. For level 2, it is so you could do normal for, I guess it might work. Or you want to do the +2 damage or the regular?
I guess you do the +2 damage.
That was 2d4. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
Wow.
We'll get to that in a second.
A lot of self-damage.
All right. So
So
roll
I
to
only got
hit.
Yeah, roll to hit.
That's a 10's enough to hit with a raise.
All right.
So we'll take this. We'll take the raise with damage and then add 2 to it. I'll have to look.
So 13 AP4.
How many dice did you roll there? Again,
Rolled 3, I think.
did you do it correctly? That's the only
Yeah,
thing I'm
rolled
concerned
2
about.
plus a raise.
Gear, dress sword, yeah, D8. And it is AP4, so it ignore armor 733. I don't think it add the +2 damage, so you do 15 in total, I think,
Mm-hmm.
which is 3, enough to shake it. It is not. That's the wrong thing. Doesn't go invisible. It is shaken. So what's your toughness?
My toughness is 8. So I'm definitely shaken 2, at least.
Do you want to try? So it'd be 8. You'd just be taking a wound. Do you want to try to soak the damage?
Yeah, is that vigor?
Yep. Spin a Benny and soak damage.
All right.
You do soak the wound and you're not shaken.
Okay.
That was a lot more deadly for you than I thought it was going to be. I'll be honest with you.
Me too.
That
roll went wild, like most rolls do when it's
Yes.
against me.
It is a D2. I forgot it is 2d4 to get the +2 damage, which I thought wouldn't be as deadly as that was potentially, but yeah. But yeah, you definitely get this thing shaken. Fiore is I think just going to bounce in the car.
I didn't even put my +2 on there. Forgot about that.
She'll attempt to do the cool action hop in the car and fumble and just land face first into the bench in the back. But she is in relative safety at the moment. Carl.
Okay, so if I move away from this guy, does it get to bite me for free?
I'm pretty sure that is a roll, yes. I will double check though.
Okay. Because that thing's really big, and I don't want to shoot it with a pistol. I would like to keep using the shotgun, so I gotta get away from it.
Yeah, that is smart thinking. I'm trying to think where that a rule would be.
I have no idea.
I have no idea as well. You can, well, I guess that's not true because if you move and possibly get taken out, you can definitely be taken out before you can do anything else.
Drawing from melee. Yep, whenever a character retreats from melee, all adjacent non-shaken and non-stunned opponents get an immediate free attack. And he's shaken, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I can and I will spin a Benny to unshake him.
Okay, well, Carl is throwing himself, like he's gonna try to turn and duck and take a step and then throw himself backwards.
Okay.
And we'll see if he gets grabbed out of the air while he jumps out of the way.
That would be the ideal situation for me at the moment. As much as I hate to say it, I want something out of this. Just a little nick, a little bite at the ankles.
I literally handed you a betrayer and you decided to shove it.
I'm gonna give it to you later. Don't worry.
Somebody has
giving it to you.
Somebody somewhere in the world has made a decision that is going to suck for us at some point.
It is definitely going to be someone here. God damn it. All right. Well, that's it for me for the night. All right, you go ahead and make your shot. You made it to freedom. I think there's a
The
moment where you do
horses
pass.
abandon us.
Yeah,
The
There is a
horses
moment where you
betray us.
jump and you barely just weave the needle through the jaws of the mouth, but you do land.
And as he's finally out of reach and he's still in the air, throwing himself backwards, he's gonna try to double fire the shotgun.
All right, go for it, buddy.
Oh, I didn't give myself the +2.
That's fine.
I
mean, you hit with the raise regardless. That is not enough. Your second shot?
that doesn't even hurt him or shake him.
Nope.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's okay. I can't touch you at all, so you're fine. That'll be. I think you forgot the +2 again, so it'll be hit with a raise. It was hitting with a raise either way.
Come on. How about that? Is that better?
Yep, that does shake him at least.
Only shaker? Oh god.
He's a big boy.
Yeah,
All right.
He makes a great-
Good news. You didn't critically fail in the shotgun.
it's true.
You got that going for you. You've done 5 shots, I think, at this point.
I shot 4 times
Oh, okay.
with the shotgun
Well,
so far.
still, you know, that's better than the first shot you usually take with it, and then just immediately jamming on you.
Yeah.
So you know you got that going for you. And your girl's safe.
Laying on the ground,
Julius-
see her getting in the back of the dingo.
What is Julius going to do?
Julius drops a satchel full of grenades into the dingo.
That would be the move. That would be the move, but it's not. No, Julius is going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to support the very vulnerable Effie in this situation because if I hit her, she's probably going to die.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll be able to do anything, but he's going to certainly try.
I'll just quadruple explode another first aid check.
Not if it kills her outright. That's
It won't happen. Not let it.
He'll get a +2.
I mean, I don't know if you'll have a choice if he goes and he fights me.
I have a choice.
That is not going to hit. Okay. Well, that's what
Might
Julius
have
does.
to.
He's
Will
there.
not misbehave this way.
Okay. I think that's
Let's have a
everybody
card.
on. No, Effie can go.
You can run. You could get away from it. It's shaken.
Mhm.
Oh, that's true.
Any
Yeah,
more
you
minutes?
can.
We've been barraging it with gunfire. It seems to be distracted by it at least.
I can do something and then move, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna attempt to push it away first so everybody else can get away if it still gets unshaken.
I mean, ideally in this situation, there's not real. Well, I guess Montre getting out of the way would probably be the most ideal in the situation.
I just want to make sure everybody's okay.
That's fair.
I'm
You're
gonna
going to try to
roll my
havoc.
Havoc. And I'm gonna put 2 more power points in it to get. Well,
You want to give him the -2 automatically?
yes, I do.
Okay, so if you raise, we'll give him -4, which I think you'll want to get as much as you can.
If I roll again with a Benny, does it take the better of the 2?
Yeah, you can take the better of the 2.
I'll just try once for a raise. I got it exactly a 4 again. Okay.
I was going to say, so long as you don't critically fail.
I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. Okay.
See if it moves him back or not.
And I'm guessing you're going to do the cone.
Whoops, didn't do that. Yeah, cone.
Okay. And I need to
Wait.
make a strength roll. We just talked about that. And he has to do it at -2.
2.
Strength -2. He barely succeeds.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
I still can't move my token because,
I'm not sure.
yeah, even without the thing, I can't. Oh, there we go. There we go. I guess I just took a bit to think about it.
Oh, okay. That'd be 2 to there. You want to try and make it to the car?
My face should be.
I'll just
let
move
me sit.
here because
Wait a
I'm
minute.
worried that Carl's gonna do something stupid, so I'm gonna start yelling at him.
Fair.
Yeah. No. Okay. Little Dino.
Got it.
He's going to
It's my backup.
2,
Can't
3,
do this.
5, 6, 7, 8. He is going to actually attempt to run and take a bite out of Carl, which will put him at a -2 to that attack, but it's a willing thing I'm willing to do. Dino.
Carl shall die.
We will have regeneration rolls. No matter how many limbs he has to rip off, make it do it.
Oh, yeah, you got that for you, so, yeah, I got that. So you'll have a total of 11 to move.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That was a
7,
good
8,
roll.
9,
That gets
10.
him here.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, pal?
Hey, hey, friend. Now I know my shotgun works on you.
He's essentially going to attempt a pouncing bite at you, and will be on a -2 because of the situation. Because he did run. So I mean, the worst thing that can happen is I get nothing out of that. But I am right next to you. I'm saying hi. Big guy, what is he doing?
He's shaking.
He is shaken. He will attempt to. I think it's a vigor roll. Not a spirit roll.
Spirit.
Not vigor. Spirit. Ooh, yep. There it goes. That's what I need. That's what I need. Man.
Well, I'm glad you used it on that instead of on an attack.
Indeed.
I am going to. Let's see here. One. So I'm going to do 1 for Montre, 2 for Julius, 3 for Effie, 4 for the Dingo. Dingo it is. So Montre and Julius will take their opportunity of attack, essentially.
Okay. So it's a regular attack for us then.
Yep. At your +2.
All right. No, I won't do that again. I'll do the regular sword.
Did I critically fail somewhere? Oh, he rolled a 1.
Yeah, poor Julius.
I don't think extras can critically fail though, so it's fine.
That 6 did not explode.
Well, did it roll a 6? It did. Well, that was your
Oh,
main
it's a
die, which is
D8.
not a
He's on
D6,
D8.
so it
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's a
explode.
D8.
That
No,
hits
okay.
anyway, so you can go ahead and roll your damage.
Wow, I am rolling rolling damage. 3 damage, but AP4.
That's not enough to hurt him. He is no longer shaken. I do remember that. Okay, and he can act normally because you rolled super high. So, realistically, he's just going to run over top of you, run past you. So 1, 2, 3, over Effie, 4, 5, 6, and going to jam the Dingo, which is a considerably size, I think, equal. Where is the Dingo? There's the vehicles. Oh, what did I do? Oh, wait, that's not what. I put Carl in the vehicles, which makes sense, but is not right. Dingo is size 4, which I think still makes it large. If that doesn't, I'm going to be really surprised.
Vehicles are large.
I don't
Double
think.
checking. Large is hippos in most vehicles.
Yep, size 4. It is, so it's equal value, so this is at an equal roll, so I could hit something for once.
Well, huge is dragons and whales.
So he will attempt to break the Dingo someday, some point. That'll probably hit the Dingo. I don't think there's a parry value for it. I'd be really surprised.
No. See, Carl can make soak rolls for vehicles if he's driving it,
Yeah.
but I think I'm the only one who can do anything weird with vehicles.
No, you decide not to jump in the vehicle, so.
I was a little busy trying not to get my head bit off.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. What is that? 11? Which I think just causes a wound to a vehicle. Yeah. This is not with the effect. I'll have to look at that. So the vehicle will, I'll say, at least for now, takes a wound. It's a very Jurassic Park style. The dinosaur is ramming into the Jeep, essentially, in this scenario. And that's it's all going to do at this point. So we're going to the next round. As I think things are going to, if things don't get wrapped up at this point, after this round, then we'll call it for a night. Effie got a black
Effie got the Joker.
The black Joker,
Another
yes.
Joker. And most of us go before except Harlen. Harlen's way down there, and he's right next to it. It sucks.
Oh well.
It's all right. I'm done attacking small people. I'm going for something equal size. Even then, I was barely able to hit it. Effie, what would you like to do? Or do you want to wait? Okay, she said she's going to wait. Sean.
Shelf damage.
Yes, hello. I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna drive in such a way that I get next to Julius and Montre and Effie. I'm gonna jam myself in that area where sounds icon is like cursor currently is. So I'm gonna keep. I drifted here, and now I'm gonna gun the engine again. I'm gonna drift around the next series of tents. Tank from Cowboy Bebop is playing the whole time.
Oh, god damn. All right. Yeah. Make your driving roll.
No, you're really happy to have me do that, huh?
If you gotta roll
About
something.
this. I do have to roll it.
What is with my rolling tonight?
Oh, Benny.
Okay. I think you have plenty. You haven't had to use any of it really yet. All right. Yep. You're
That
good.
was a 4 for you, bud.
So you're going.
Full on bass guitar, just being like boom, 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 boom.
Here. Okay.
That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Harlan, did you get in the I'm just going to call it co-pilot seat? Did you get in the co-pilot seat?
I got in whichever was like open and closest. So if the back seat was taken, then I'd have gotten in the shotgun. Sure.
I would, if you gotten a shotgun, I would say if you wanted, since you're in the same vehicle, you could attempt to use the machine gun to shoot the dino.
Yeah, I might then, but that involves it getting to my turn first.
I say you could do it now. That would be, unless you're planning on doing something else with your turn.
No, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll your shooting.
Gambling time. Though also should be adding.
It'd be +2, which would have hit, but if you're wanting a raise, yeah, that would do it. Okay, it's not gonna let me do it. All right, so I'll just go ahead and roll. Unless you want to do it, you could do /R space 2d10 x10 plus d6 x6.
What? Sorry, I missed the last bit of that.
For the you do d6 x6 for the raise for the damage. Wow. Okay.
Wow, what are these rolls?
Do you want to gamble that? I think you have one.
I can't. I'm out.
Oh, okay. Well, that is enough to shake it due to the AP of your weapon.
Okay. All right.
Effie, do you want to intervene or you still want to wait?
I'm gonna wait.
Okay. Montre.
Query: is the self damage going up for level 3 versus level 2, or is it going to still be?
It'll be
2d4?
No. It'll go up.
Well, the hell with that then.
That's for desperate times.
Apparently, it's for if I have to die. It's a freaking exploded D4s. Yeah. But he wants to put some hurt on it, and his gun was where the truck was, and the truck is now driven around, so hopefully his gun wasn't ran over and broken. He'll worry about that in a minute. Didn't think of that till just when I said it out loud.
I mean, you dropped it over here,
No,
and he's been driving around.
I dropped it.
He was like
Oh,
over here.
yeah,
but you
yeah,
could have
yeah.
picked it
I
up.
was over in this area, and
Right.
I was right beside the dingo.
What
They
you
might
mean?
be like
to get rid of
driving
that.
a loop around it. I feel like it's.
Yeah,
it-
I just thought of it just now. I'm like, oh man, if I was actually needing it right now, I'd have to go find it. But technically, I'm almost back where I started.
Yeah.
You do need your gun though.
I would definitely be better off with my gun, yes. But he's going to try to get his attention and keep its attention.
Okay.
And non-lethal, so silliness.
Really, still trying not to kill it? Okay.
He's being silly. So he's +2 for me to hit, -1 for non-lethal, so it's just a +1.
That'll definitely hit with a raise. Yeah.
Two raises.
Yeah, how does that work for Frenzy? Frenzy doesn't say what it does if you actually hit the die.
Essentially, it lets you roll a second main die. So you roll a second D8 for your
The extra
fighting.
die may be allocated to the same or different targets.
So if
It's
you
all
had
from each
did
separately.
multiple attacks around, you could use the frenzy die on something else.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll roll damage with a raise. That's a little bit better.
That's
13 AP4.
like using a sword. Yeah, that'll do a wound.
Woohoo!
All right, it's going down slowly but surely. Now I won't be able to do anything with it.
Its name is going to be George if I keep it alive long enough.
We'll see. We'll see. That's it for you,
Yeah, I don't think I have extra attack because I didn't declare it. So
Yeah. Carl.
So the strength requirement on your machine gun, does that still apply if you fire it from prone?
No, because you would really be using your bipod at that point. Are you going to try to?
Yes.
Okay.
Dino gets his free attack.
You're going to use an action to switch to your MG.
No. So I'm going to. Okay, here's my plan. My plan is to try to walk away from this dino
Okay.
and drop the shotgun, so I could just free action drop it. Dive onto Montre's machine gun and pour fire into this thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, you get away successfully unscathed.
Okay. So diving onto his gun and shooting it, do I have to use up the action to get on the gun?
I would definitely say up until this point, definitely an action would be necessary for all this to happen.
So I'll use my multi-action then to get on his gun and fire
Okay.
at that.
What are you doing? 2, 3, or 4?
I'm gonna pull the trigger down, whatever the max rate of fire is.
Before. Alrighty. Montre.
I don't know anything about I mean, I know how the gun works. This thing is like immune to shotguns, so I'm gonna try to draw bullets.
Roll your shooting.
I'll go ahead and subtract the bullets from the gun.
Roll. So you roll.
With the plus
roll your
2.
4 shooting dice.
I'm
I'm trying to think the best way to do this. I'm not really sure because it's it's not your gun technically.
Yeah, can you drag it onto my sheet and I'll shoot it and then take it off the sheet?
Yeah, 1 second. I'll do that real quick. That's a great answer to this. A great solution to this conundrum you've created.
Plus, this means we recover your gun and it gets me out of the way.
Okay, it is now on your favorites thing
I
on
see
the
it.
front
Okay.
page.
And it gets me out of the way of Harlan, so hopefully something can happen. I don't know. Maybe they run it over in the truck. All right. Rate of fire 4.
I will say definitely the ones in the shooting roll will still hit Montre.
He's really tough. I don't think he gets hurt by his own bullets.
I don't.
That's how bullets work, right?
Sure.
What is the drop? What is that situational modifier?
That's for like ambushes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
This is not for dropping into your situation that you're in now. No.
Okay, so rate of fire 4. I don't know how to do the size thing.
Just trait modifier.
So essentially,
Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah. And if it gives you a -2, we're going to ignore it because you're prone.
Here we go.
Okay, you got some stuff going on for you. You did not roll a 1. Because I'll say 2 is going to be ignored because it's a big guy.
So yeah, I did it. I want to see the. Yep, under strength minimum -2, so that's a 4, a 6, and a 5. So everything hit.
Yep.
Okay.
So first one is not a raise. Second one is a hit with a raise, definitely. Third one is a hit with a raise, and last one is just a hit. Yeah. So.
Let's do the regular hits.
Yep.
Cool.
You're doing great. This is second
Here's
hit.
the other regular hit.
All right, that's slightly better. That is
20 pierce 2.
Was it AP2 for your gun, Montre?
Yep, AP2.
It has R is +2, so it drops
punch
down
very
to
hard,
14
but it punches
toughness,
a lot.
which is 1 wound, 2 wound? No, just 1 wound. 2 wounds actually, because it's already shaken. That's right. Nope, big guy. So it takes 2 wounds, because 1 for meeting the target, one for the extra 4. All right, the first one with the raise. Will you do it? Will you get it? That does not look like
That's really bad. I'm gonna Benny that roll.
I say that's one. Oh boy, that did worse. One more Benny, or you've gotten a couple. Okay, all right, we got something going on here.
I'll take a 17.
That definitely wounds it, but doesn't get a raise for it. So just take 1. All right, your second.
Here we go. Here's
and
the last one.
Raise. That is.
So I took a wound earlier, and I just did 2 wounds in total to it.
It has taken 5 wounds and is still up, but barely.
If I roll the Benny on this, then
you
don't
can
take
keep the better
right?
result. Yes.
Oh, okay then. Fuck it. Wow. Okay. We'll keep the 17.
Okay. I'm going to say Fiore can take a shot at it, just because she's also in the vehicle.
Did I at least do another wound to it with the other 17?
Yeah, with the second one, you've done 5. It's at 5 wounds.
Okay.
I can tell you that if it takes another wound, it's dead. So here.
Wow, this gun's really good.
Yeah, but like you can say, like Montre's got a thumbs up at you, even though one just went through his sleeve. It's like, yeah.
Is he even worried about it? That's the question. All right.
A
So
bullet hole in my sleeve? No. He'll be getting his gun back.
Here we go.
Sure.
Let's hit with a raise. She can do it.
I don't take your airplane. You do not take my gun.
No.
Oh.
All right.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been hilarious. Okay. Effie, do you want to intervene? Or you just want
They killed the dino, the new girl.
I guess I'll try slumber again.
This is actually the opportune time to probably do it. Yeah.
It'll use my last power points, and Fury's got my gun. So.
Oh, okay. I was going to say she just has the same gun as you, but you can keep your gun.
Oh no, I said she could have it.
Oh, okay. So,
at least for now.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's just what I'll do.
Okay. So go ahead and make your focus roll.
Yep, I'm rolling it.
Oh, that's what I was wanting to do. Did that add the? Okay. It's good. Doesn't get a raise though. Wait, does it say? Why does it say raise? I don't know either. Okay. So we'll and you didn't evoke. You can't evoke the -2.
No, maybe because the Joker gives her a +2.
Yeah, but looks like she rolled a 4 and got a +2 from the Joker, which will only make it a 6.
Yeah, that's true. That's weird.
So I don't know. That's
TN2 for some reason it's saying. why.
trait. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
that's what it's
know.
saying.
So I need to make a spirit roll. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
It fails and goes to sleep. Not invisible. Goes to sleep.
It goes invisible.
Be the most terrifying part of this fight. It just turns invisible.
Man, I don't see one for slumber, so I'm just gonna do this one that looks like it's drunk.
Stunned and prone.
Well, I
Wow,
guess
that
that would
just
be
gave it a
technically
bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. In this instance,
Not true,
it
maybe it's
is
like,
asleep.
do we have rope? Do we have enough rope for something this big?
I'll really only thing I could do is make the spirit to see if he gets unshaken. Do you have to be conscious for that? Things I haven't considered. Like usually at this point, things are just dead. This just happens to be the big thing, so it's not dead. I'll worry about that later. I'll worry about that later. Who's next? Fiore, she did her thing. Julius, I think, man, I think he's going to go for the glory and try to kill the dino.
I mean, there's also this one.
Yeah, there is also that one. Yeah, go for that one. Seems like the better bet because it would be going after you and bite you and your very vulnerable self on the bottom there.
Just jump on my back while I'm laying on the ground.
Yeah, you're very good prone nomming position for any animal.
Especially ones that are used
Effie
to
did say that she was worried Carl was going to do something dumb.
You did something dumb, but it was still helpful.
If you remember right, when asked about her goal, it was to keep specifically Carl alive.
That
the one most
is
likely to kill
enough
him.
to shake it, but not kill it, because there's no AP. He doesn't have a fancy sword like everybody else. Okay. The next is the dino who needs to get unshaken. Maybe. No. Okay. And then Harlen already did his thing. Okay. As the last light over the other campfire goes out and pitters from just being trampled by the beasts that had gone through it. I'm not turned those off yet, but they'll be turned off. One more time, a sudden sandstorm goes through and obscures the entire battlefield. Pretty much for the human mortal eye, it is impossible to see through it as just sand constantly pelting the vulnerable eyeballs.
Soft juice bits.
Any other way, it's just obscured by the full density of the sand. Only a few seconds later, the sand is gone, and essentially all the corpses of the dinos that you've killed and the big dino is gone, along with all the corpses and the equipment that the hunting party had. Only thing left is the now tumbling wrecks of the tents that are now being blown by the sudden gust of wind.
Wait, did all of the hunting party die?
Only thing remaining is the bloodstains left from them being eaten alive, essentially.
Oh, we got to them fairly quick.
They were dying before you got to them. In the gust of wind, you do notice a spot where the camp at the hunting party is starting to have the ground and the sand start being blown up in a dust cloud, starting to reveal a staircase leading down deep into the earth. And I think that's where we end it for the night.
Carl rolls onto his back. It just screams. He's super frustrated.
Montre turns and he's like, I know, I almost had a pet dinosaur.
I think we could do without that kind of pet.
Every time I come up with something new.
Oh, yeah.
I never want to encourage my hobbies.
Never support me, Mom.
That didn't go at all like I thought it would.
Well, Fiore, Julius, this is going pretty strange. In fact, I'd say that this adventure isn't going anything at all what I thought it was going to go like. I say, turning towards the sky, for I have heard the words of the Lord.
No, I was convinced that Fiora was going to die in this by just getting eaten alive. But she's
Oh.
alive, so it's fine.
I was going to have Montre capture one of the small ones, but everyone else went so far ahead of him. They were already way dead before I could move.
Yeah, you guys
I knew
killed
I wasn't
them.
going to do much kissing of a guy.
Yeah, you guys killed them much faster than I thought you would. And I thought they would at least get maybe a hit or two on you, but no.
No, I was hoping they would try. I was hoping you'd get really excited and hit Effie, and then I was going to be like, not today. Play after an attack, any attack, to change it from a success to a critical failure.
Oh, I was gonna say, because I was a little surprised the big one didn't bite me instead of Carl. I would have just died.
I hadn't gotten to
I
that
tried
point
to
yet.
make the argument that with the shotgun going off, that I'd made all that noise for it to come for.
That's why I
And
started.
then Montre was punching it. So
Yeah, I started rolling
Good
randomly because it
stabbing.
had gotten more chaotic. So I was like, okay, it doesn't know which is going to go after.
Yeah.
which-
After my first ever use of my soul sword almost burnt me out completely.
Yeah,
with
that was the
one
only
swing.
thing that I roll good on was the thing to hurt you, which
It's like 4 4s in a row.
yeah.
that size thing really screwed the big one.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if we did that quite.
no, that was right. I'll double check it, but I think that was right. It's just
The
I
larger
forgot
creature
how-
subtracts a difference from its attack. A very small eagle subtracts 2 from its attack when hitting a tiny fairy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
I think your words, you were saying huge versus large, and those are very different for the numbers, because large is a +2, a huge would be a +4, so they'd actually have a -4 to attack. Actually, it'd be more than that, because it's like 3 levels
Well,
down for normal people.
No, it'd be so the +2 whatever is based on what normal size is. So if it's a huge attacking into a normal, it's a -4, or normal into a huge is a +4. I think that's the way they balanced it for large creatures because they get more strength to do more damage typically. I think the modifier should have been not as huge. Like maybe did a +1 or -1 for large against normal, and -2 for huge normal, stuff like that. I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah. I guess I forgot that is a terrible thing, and that bigger does not necessarily mean better. It primary thing it makes it is it's just harder to kill because it has more toughness and whatnot.
Yeah,
It was very hard to hurt it.
Yes. So it was toughness 16, which included 3 armor. So
Wow.
that's strength of 12.
so at best you can make it is a toughness 13 with all the AP, which had the ability to do everything. The little guys had toughness of 9 with 2 of it being armor. So I thought they'd be a little bit more resilient than I thought they were, but no, they're not.
Well, we're also running heavier weapons than we were when we started.
You are. That's the other thing is that modern weaponry is a lot better than.
I
Creatures
talked to the
of
B
space.
team guy about getting shot shells, and these ones that he gave me worked way better.
Yeah, they seem to be working out for you. Yes.
Yeah,
You got
37 damage.
it was a
What-
good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the improvement. Was that it didn't bust on you in the very first shot, so that was already immediate 100% improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now I got to make my decision who's going to be the betrayer. As I got to figure out what dirt they have on the person. I guess it would be on Sean.
Oh,
What's the specific word?
I don't know if this is actually any use now because we're not doing anything, but I will play this. Was this a wild card monster?
It was a wild card monster. Also to get the Benny.
Everybody gets a Benny.
Yeah, and so this more applies to Effie because she was the only one that used powers. You can spend a Benny to get 5 power points back.
It does say a trusted friend, so I feel like that's from Sean's perspective. Someone he considers a trusted friend. And it's spilling his secrets.
That's true. I mean, it could also be any of you guys, I suppose.
Just nitpicking the wording on the card.
I know why you're nitpicking the wording, because listen, you got to worry about her surviving this first, okay?
Yeah.
You brought up the suggestion, and you said, "Yeah, she'd probably say that she could come if you." You can spin the other Benny too, if you want to make it back to 10 cotton. At least get 10 power points.
I don't want to be going to a thing with 1 Benny.
It would reset for next session.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to be cruel.
Oops, didn't mean to do that.
All of the bennies.
Yeah. I didn't wound anybody in this combat, did I?
No.
I think I just shook you and Montre. That's it.
I didn't.
No, you didn't even get hurt. No, I didn't.
No, that size penalty was the difference between it hitting me. Like
No,
twice.
I don't think it was because I didn't roll
You
anything.
rolled terribly too.
I just
It rolled a pair of 5s at one point. Those would have made it to 7.
No, it just would have been 5. It made it to 3 with the -2. Yeah, I might modify the large creature thing, because that's.
I mean, to be fair, Carl had like the bayonet and ranks in fighting and his racial thing for parry. He
No,
does have a really good parry.
No, it's more of any other situation, because -2 is very brutal, just in general, really. To be honest, I think -1 would have been more reasonable in the situation, but I don't know.
Here we go. Ganging up. What are the ganging up bonuses?
Each additional adjacent foe who isn't stunned, add 1 to all the attacker's fighting rolls, up to a maximum of 4. So ganging up is an option.
Mm-hmm.
Of them.
There's things like test and everything you can try as well, but
The little guys had pack tactics, which would have let them, I think, gang up easier. Which I think
I
don't
get
know if it
bonuses
mattered.
if things try to gang up on me. Their gang up bonus is less because I have trained in block.
I didn't have that opportunity, so
Yeah, they died so fast.
yeah, yeah.
Wait, the ganging up could have made that fight much scarier.
Yeah. It's the best summary I could say for the situation is if you ever watch the Gate anime, it's just pretty much all the sequences where all the modern military is shooting into these medieval armies and creatures.
They're all up on the wall with their bows, and then the attack helicopter wastes the walls.
Yeah, it's
I laughed so hard in that scene. That was so funny.
it's just yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna head out for the night. It's
Alright.
super duper late, and we went like an hour longer than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Good
gonna
night,
get
everybody.
heavily edited down.
Good night.
Night.
We need to get his weapon off my sheet.
Yep, I'll do that real quick.
You don't like some unholy of
You
303
subtracted the bullets
something?
already, right?
Yeah, it's already removed from my sheet.
Okay.
It's only 20. Only.
Yeah, you didn't get to shoot it much. You kind of went to, I need a body block, which is fair. Because yeah, if Effie got hit at least once, she would. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Would it have been able to hit Effie without a gang up bonus though?
Yeah,
she doesn't have much of a parry, so it'd be easier.
I am not for being anywhere near anybody.
Let's see. Her parry. Oh, she doesn't have fighting at all. Okay.
I was just thinking about how like that -2 on a D8 is so brutal.
Yeah. So I mean, Effie would have been a lot easier to hit.
My parry is 2 and my
Yeah.
toughness is 4.
And the dino, if he bit, he would have done 12 D12 plus D8 plus 2, or no, plus 4.
So if you've ever noticed how Effie is always like really in the back, it's for a reason.
She's not made to fight. She's made to die.
Don't you remember that one time I got shot and almost immediately died?
I do indeed.
I remember making that medical aid roll.
Yeah.
That was a lot of dice I rolled. I haven't been able to roll that much dice like that in a while. I think it's coming up in the worst possible
You
way.
didn't need it.
No.
You didn't need that because, again, my toughness is 4.
Man, those were the Burungers cryptid in Australia. There's not many cryptids in Australia, I've noticed. I was trying to find something cool to pull up cryptid supernatural wise, and it was that or Yowies, which are Bigfoots essentially. I didn't think that was cool. I think quite a bit of water-based other cryptids, which is interesting.
I really did think I was going to get thrashed around a bit.
I thought you were
You
too.
almost did.
I thought you were too, but
Carl does not know that he has regeneration.
no. You would find that event. It's
He's going to find out at some point when he gets punched in the face for all of his health or something.
I guess the other thing is you would have to you could do it, but there's no guarantee that it will fully work because you could flub the healing roll technically.
Yeah, that's true. I could critically fail the vigor roll.
You wouldn't have to critically fail. You just wouldn't be able to roll a 4 at least to heal a wound.
I suppose it's a good thing I have a D12 vigor.
That's true. Listen, I had a D12.
With my rolls, it's always possible. I know.
I almost failed the strength roll to not get pushed back with a D12 plus 4. Granted, it was a D12 plus 2 with the wild die. God, that sucked. That hurt. That really. I guess
Sorry.
that's fine. That's just.
I mean, I'm not that sorry because I didn't do anything, but happened to you.